We'll
Yeah, we
excuse
don't
him.
want to make light of it. He was busy.
He was good. He actually was. He did good today. Very proud of him. Of course, he'll be on the call tomorrow night, along with Aaron Morse and our good friend Tyler Farnham, as they will be live from Fitzpatrick Stadium for the Class A North Regional Final between the Oxford Hills Vikings and the Portland Bulldogs. Oxford Hills Vikings head football coach Mark Soren joins us now. You know, Mark, it's funny. A couple of years ago, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, maybe last year, it was last year. You guys actually won at Fitzpatrick Stadium against Portland to start off the year, and now you have another chance to win at Fitzpatrick Stadium and then be back there playing the next Saturday. Pretty big jump for the program.
Yeah, it's it's been some small steps as we've gone through this and gotten better kind of every year. And that sort of that Portland win last year was sort of the next step for us. You know, we had beaten some of our old, I guess you'd call them the Pine Tree teams that we came over in the conference with, but we hadn't beaten Portland or Wyndham or Cheverus. And that was one of those goals that we wanted, and we did that last year. We won at Fitzpatrick, and this year a little different. They beat us at home, and now we're traveling down there, and it should be a good game.
Let's talk a little bit about last week. Everybody, pretty healthy coming into this week. Everybody make it through last week, okay?
Yeah, yes, everyone, and we're getting other kids back too. So we had one separated shoulder in the Wyndham game. He's back, and it's been nice, with Austin Dowdy to have a full week of practice with him. Really on one day last week, and he looks good. So everyone's back and healthy.
Colton has a pretty good arm. Okay, for folks that don't know, Colton Carson is a very good quarterback, and he's got a very strong arm. Does that arm help with wind and conditions? Because a lot of times teams don't throw around this time of year, or teams that do throw have a difficult time because you never know what the weather's going to be like. For example, it's beautiful today, and tomorrow it's supposed to be, we can't tell if it's going to snow, sleet, rain, or do nothing. It could be windy. It might not be windy. But does that arm of his allow you? Does that allow you to keep a lot of plays in the playbook even when the weather starts to get a little bit less than optimal?
Yes, there's no question. Even when we played Cheverus, that was a strange evening because the forecast was 20-mile-per-hour consistent winds and 40-mile-per-hour gusts, and then started to pick up right when we're warming up, and then it kind of died down there. I don't know if it's direction, it was behind the bleachers, I don't know what happened, but that whole week we knew the wind, we figured the wind was going to be bad. And so we knew, and we wanted to throw. We felt we could throw on Cheverus, and we were like, that's short pass game in no matter what. That's not going to affect Colton. And I was pretty confident we could throw downfield as well. I mean, certainly I don't think it as much as we may have if there's no wind, but there's no question that helps in planning, And Colton does a nice job even just sort of having a sense of how to throw it in that wind, too. It just sort of has those instincts that we didn't teach him.
Coach, there are some things in practice that you can't duplicate. I've always said, for a catcher, you can't practice catching foul tips. It's not going to happen. And in football, you can practice with a wet ball. You can practice on a muddy field. You can't, at least I haven't found a way you can figure out how to make wind at practice so that you can practice in it.
No, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. We, even this Tuesday, I was really happy it was raining because I said all we're going to do is we're going to throw on Tuesday. As far as offensively, we're just going to get back there. And I said I don't want to hear any excuses about the wet balls and catching and throwing and whatever. I said don't worry about your footwork because we on turf. But if it rains, we're just going to make it happen. But the wind, you just don't know. I mean, it could be, and this could be from the side. It could be from, behind. If it's behind, at least you get two quarters that you can do stuff. But it's from the side. I think that's even worse. There was a play in the Cheverus game where we threw a play action and J.J. Worcester was open over the top, and Colton saw him and threw it to him, and all of a sudden the ball just landed behind him. And I was thinking, what in the world is Colton doing? But on the sideline when we had twos in, the kids were talking. I was standing next to them, and they said the wind just took it. It went from behind the bleachers to where there weren't any bleachers, and the wind just took it and it landed behind them. So, sure. There's not much you can do. You just go out and play. I just say, this is distraction. Don't worry about it. You got to prioritize. Like, what's more important here, worrying about the wind or just doing what you can do? And these kids do a pretty good job of just doing what you can do.
Coach, the way the playoffs have been set up these last few years, Most of the teams in the playoffs recently have been playing a team a second time. You play them once during the regular season, and then you face them again in the playoffs. Is that an advantage or not?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily an advantage because you both saw each other. You both saw what you did. I think, with this week for us, it was a little easier to see what he's going to do versus our personnel. That was that one thing. I mean, I would say typically Portland always has something that's a little different, that they put some, whether it's dropping a lineman into coverage or using an end to cover a receiver, or they sometimes they typically just going to take away what they think is your best play. They're not going to let you run it, and then you have to beat them doing something else. And watching them that first game, you can kind of get a sense of what they think is your best play, and then you try to exploit those things. So, and I'm sure they're doing the same to us. I think what's nice for us, and I wouldn't say it's not the same for them, but with us, we've got so many different weapons. It's hard to take, even if and Colton clearly is probably weapon number one. I mean, but I don't think the kids would necessarily say that. I just think he's just tough. But if they take Colton away, you got to stop Parker, and you got to stop Yannick, you got to stop Worcester, and you got to stop Turner. I mean, it's just hard. And they got Monet or Pruitt. I mean, it's just hard to take those away. So we're kind of planning to spread that ball around and see what they do, and then go attack the things they're giving to us.
Anything you were able to, is there anything you can glean from the previous game when you guys played? I mean, you look back on that one, I feel like that game could have gone either way. The touchdown that got called back, I thought ended up being a lot bigger than we all realized at the time. But that game was pretty close, and probably either one. It could have gone either way at that point. So I feel like there's probably a lot you can glean from it, because I don't feel like either one of you. I don't feel like either you or Jim were hiding much from each other at that point.
No, I think we're both trying to win. Both finding a way to put points on the board, and we did ours with big plays. They did theirs with long, sustained drives. I'm sure that they're probably going to look at that option a little bit and see how they want to defend it. We certainly got to look at toss and see if that's going to be the thing, or if it's going to be an inside run that they want to view on us. Their quarterback isn't too tall, so it's tough for them to throw from under center, but they can run from the spread. They've had some success doing that as well, and he's pretty accurate. I think he has the highest completion percentage in the league. So, yeah, I don't think there was anything there that anyone was trying to hide. Just trying to put those kids out, let them make plays.
Talking with Oxford Hills head football coach Mark Soren. 8th grade, this isn't just a lot of people get concerned about these, like, oh well, Oxford Hills hasn't made it to a state title game or been in the state title game since '99, and da 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 da. Well, you've got another crew, the youth programs. I mean, the stuff that you guys do over there is so in sync. Your 8th grade program won an 8th grade championship yesterday as well. So, and I believe, if I remember correctly, this class also won the 8th grade championship too. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. In fact, that 8th grade crew reminds me a lot of our senior class now. Just kids. My son happens to be on that 8th grade team as well, and so I just like asking him about how he felt about certain situations. I think, like with the crew that I have as seniors, it's interesting that this week doesn't feel any different than any week we've ever had. It doesn't feel like they're playing. Oh, we're playing championship. No, they don't. It's just it's a game, and you got to go out and you got to play the game. And that 8th grade crew is a lot like that. My son didn't. I mean, I think he cared, but it's just a football game, and they're going to go out and he's going to do whatever he can do to win. They were down in the play-in game 14-0 at one point, and they end up winning, of course. And I asked him, how did you feel about being down 14-0? He goes, well, I don't know, nothing. It's just that, like, at that point, I think that they believe in themselves, and they believe in their teammates, and they believe that they can go score and stop teams. And I get that's the same thing with these seniors. They played in so many big games. I mean, they played in their regional championship last year in baseball. They played high playoff games before. They played in national championships in Babe Ruth. I mean, basketball tournament games. They just love being a part of these situations. They trained so they could be in this game. It's not like this big thing in their mind. This is what they expected to do and expected to be a part of. And it's really been fairly refreshing, because as a coach and having been on the other end of things for so long, you get lost a little bit in it. You get you start worrying a little bit about this and that, and you realize the kids aren't nervous. They just want to play. They're excited. They just can't wait to be a part of it. And I'm like, all right, that's how I should feel. I should be a part of it and want to go out and have some fun.
Okay, good model for me. Thank you. We really appreciate that.
It's a good thing on that. That's good. Feel like your coaching staff, your assistant coaches, are probably should be getting as much credit as the players at this point, and I'm sure they never get enough. It's like offensive linemen. Offensive linemen never get enough credit either.
No, the staff is phenomenal. I mean, Nate Danforth won Assistant Coach of the Year for the North this year. He does an incredible job. You just know the kids believe in what he brings out to them every day. I heard the kids saying, talking about other games, they're like, yeah, Coach will have a game plan for us to stop them. Just as a matter of fact. Whatever Coach puts out there, they believe in it, and they do it. And it's not just that. The assistants, they've been around a long time. Some of them have been in the youth program, coming up. And they put in an incredible amount of time there. In fact, my whole staff was at the 8th grade game last night. They don't have to be there. I'm the only one that has a kid in there, and they all came down to watch. It's just something they just love being a part of it. They're green and gold. They bleed it, and they just do an incredible job.
Talking to Mark Soren, he is the head football coach for the Oxford Hills Vikings. They will be in action on Friday night against the Portland Bulldogs. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff, and you can watch that game on the MBR Facebook page, and you can listen to it on 96.9 AM 1450. Coach, thanks for taking some of your prep period to talk to us. Good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you down there.
Thanks, guys. Good talking.
Take care, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. That's Mark Soren. He is the Oxford Hills Vikings head football coach. Talking to him today on the B-List.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live at Fitzpatrick Stadium, the home of the Portland Bulldogs, for the Class A North Final, as Oxford Hills looks for their first state championship game appearance since 1999, but they have to get past the top seed, Portland, first. The Vikings beat Cheverus last week 35-6 to get here. Portland defeated Edward Little 49-15 behind 200-plus rushing yards from Zach Elowich, 267 rushing yards to be exact from Elowich in that win. And, of course, the Vikings have a star of their own in the Class A North Player of the Year, Colton Carson. My name is Aaron Morse. I'll be bringing you all the action here tonight alongside Tasker Winslow. But first, we will take a quick break, and we'll be back with more here on 96.9 Ox Country, live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth with the video feed at mbr.org.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy, and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Center Orthopedics. All playing on the same team. Orthopedic practices have joined forces for more affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
OrthoAccess is an orthopedic walk-in clinic, and it's the only one in the state of Maine. It's designed sort of patients where they are, so meet our patients and our community's needs.
I bring the patients in and I'll do the initial triage, kind of get their history of what happened, determine what body parts, and figure out what medications they're on, kind of background information. Once I get that information, I'll provider and determine whether they need imaging.
I'll go in the room, examine the patient, we'll review the x-rays together, and then decide if the patient needs blood work or further imaging like MRI, which is easy because we have MRI right here. It's very convenient for people. Or anything casting, we do that all right here as well. So people tend to be pretty happy with sort of everything in one place.
We'll see fractures, so we see plenty of bones, and it's a lot of extremities, so a lot of foot, ankle, and wrist injuries. We see plenty of people who are coming in because they're worried that they have something big or they have a broken bone. And we're here sort of for reassurance a lot of times that they don't.
We see tons of athletes right off of the field. A lot of the local athletic trainers are really good about sending their patients right here instead of sending them to the emergency room. Saving them a wait, which is nice, and they can kind of get everything all at once. They can get their x-rays, they can get a brace or a cast if they need it, instead of having to go to multiple different locations.
So the youngest patient I've seen, I think, is probably 18 months. And then I think I've seen a 99-year-old in OrthoAccess, so you can imagine they're coming in with really different problems. Might be a slip on the ice, we've seen a ton of that recently, or it might be they were at the trampoline park, twisted their ankle, or it might be a football injury where they fell and twisted their knee. We cut out the middleman, so to speak, so they could get right into OA, get x-rays if they need that, and either get the treatment that they need right off the bat, or kind of high-level triage and get them to the next best provider who really should see them.
So usually we are the busiest right when we open. And then later on in the day, it usually slows down a bit, and the wait time is significantly less. We've had people start at the ER and they have left because they're so frustrated and come here and are in and out within an hour, which is nice.
It does feel good. I mean, patients say, "Wow, this is great. This is a lot better than sitting in the waiting room in an emergency room where." Usually there's a ton of orthopedic issues that come into ERs, and most of them are not going to be urgent. So they're going, naturally they're going to be waiting a longer period. So yeah, it does feel good.
We welcome you back in on the video feed as well. Video stream at MBR.org. My name is Aaron Morris. Tasker Winslow alongside me, bringing you all the action here this evening at Fitzpatrick Stadium between Oxford Hills and Portland for the Class A North Regional Final. The winner will go to the state championship game, same venue next weekend at Fitzpatrick Stadium to take on the winner of Thornton and Scarborough, who play tomorrow afternoon. Well, Tasker, I mean, Oxford Hills, their last state title game appearance was 1999.
Yep.
You were not born yet?
Wasn't born.
You were not born at that time. So how excited, how pumped are you for this game?
I mean, I'm really excited. I'd love to see them win this and go on and just play in a state game, because I wanted so badly to be a part of that when I was on the team, and now seeing these guys excel and do so well, it's, you know, we all just want to see them go as far as they can.
Absolutely. Right now the captains are meeting for the coin toss at midfield. And so, you know, breaking down this matchup, the regular season, Portland won by a field goal. It was so close. Based on what you saw during that game, what's the key tonight for Oxford Hills to turn the tables on Portland?
The Oxford Hills defense needs to get off the field on third downs. That's the biggest thing. They can't let Portland have these really long clock-chewing drives.
That's certainly a key, because Portland held the ball for pretty much most of the third quarter. Last time these two teams squared off, that was, of course, at the Gwine Athletic Complex. Portland wins the coin toss. They defer to the second half, so Oxford Hills is going to get the ball to start this game. And we touched on some of the key players in this matchup. Colton Carson, of course, the Class A North Player of the Year. But Portland has the Lineman of the Year in Koa Farnsworth. They run the ball down your throat. Ben Levine as well. Chris Vincent up front. This is a powerful offensive line and a powerful running back in all-conference selection, Zach Elowich. And what's the key to slowing down a guy like Elowich?
Well, his biggest thing is he's going to run outside the tackles and get yards on you that way. So defensive ends, outside linebackers got to come up. They got to stay home, and they got to set the edge against it.
Absolutely. And so now the team's getting hyped up there at midfield. Elowich, the key for Portland. Sam Nope, the quarterback, will run it as well. He's got good mobility. If he throws it, watch out for Ben Stasium at number 5. He's a playmaker for them as well. And, of course, Yannick Luksha, the star wide receiver, kicker, and punter. What a year he's had as a senior, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
For Oxford Hills, he's been outstanding, and he's taken over that role on those jet sweeps that Cam Slicer used to do, and he's done it really well, hasn't he?
Right, yeah. Him and Mikey Boning have definitely had to step up to, split carries on those jet sweeps and, any end-around type sweeps since the loss of Cam Slicer.
All right, so the Vikings, as I mentioned, will receive the opening kick after Portland won the toss, and they are deferring to the second half. Michael Bonang and Alex Turner back deep as the Bulldogs preparing to kick it away. The Class A North Regional Final is underway. It's Turner at the 12, Turner to the 20, Turner far side 25, and he's tackled just beyond the 25 at about the 27-yard line. First man there for the Bulldogs was Jamal Mariba, and that's where the Vikings will start, 1st and 10 with 11:54 remaining here early on here in the first quarter. First play from scrimmage coming up. So Colton Carson, he was limited last time against Portland. They really contained his running game. We'll see if he has more success in the rematch. 1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 27. They open with 3 wide receivers. And LaFrance in the backfield with Carson. Colton Carson fumbles the snap, picks it up, and is tackled immediately in the backfield for a big loss, as all over him that time was Grant Jacobson, linebacker, 6'2", 224 pounds. And it wasn't a bad snap, but Carson just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I'm sure they've, got some jitters they've got to get out on this first drive.
Loss of 6 on the play, back to the 21-yard line for the Vikings. 2nd and 16 coming up for Oxford Hills. So not an ideal start. Some jitters, obviously. Luksha is in the slot to the right. Carson, 3 wide receivers. LaFrance in the backfield with them on 2nd down and long. Carson takes a snap, back to pass on the slant. Turner, that worked last week against Cheverus, and Turner makes the catch and falls forward to the 31-yard line. Jacobson covered him up, but a nice little gain there on 2nd down brings up 3rd and manageable for Oxford Hills.
And I think that's what they're going to have to do if they want to win this game tonight. They're going to have to throw the ball around a little bit more than they have been the past few weeks.
So it's 3rd down at the 31. They need to get to the 37-yard line to move the chain. So it's 3rd and 6 for the Vikings. 10:43 remaining, first quarter, no score, just underway here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. 4 wide receivers for Colton Carson on third down with Parker LaFrance the back. Carson on 3rd and 6, takes a snap, looks to throw to the left, throws a deep ball, and it's over the head of Pruitt, incomplete. He had Pruitt, who had split a couple defenders on the far sideline, but it was a little bit too strong, and he'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like Pruitt tried to turn around and backpedal to get it, but in that situation, you just got to keep running, get your head turned around instead of turning your whole body.
So Ben Stasium, who's an explosive playmaker for the Bulldogs, is standing at his own 42-yard line to return this punt from the all-conference punter, Yannick Luksha, who has had just a tremendous season in all aspects of the game, whether it be punting, kicking, or catching the ball, and sometimes running it out of those jet sweeps. Yannick takes a snap, and he'll boot it away. Line drive kick. Stasium, a fair catch, a late call, but he makes the grab at the 41-yard line. That's where Portland will start their drive. If he does not catch that, it keeps rolling, and it could be a very long punt for Yannick, but good job by Stasium to run up and grab it.
Yeah, the way Yannick kicks those spiral punts with the tip up a little bit, and it just always seems to take an Oxford Hills bounce for him.
That time Stasium was able to catch on the fly, so right at the 40 they rule, 1st and 10 at their own 40 for Portland. Sam Nope with Elowich in the backfield, has 3 wide receivers, shotgun on 1st and 10, puts a man in motion, and they'll run it on the sweep, and a big hold in midfield before a nice open field tackle by Lutscha. That was, I believe, Mariba on the carry for Portland. Number 21 going in motion, yeah, on the jet sweep there.
Fooled me a little bit. I thought Sam Nope had pulled it.
So they get a few yards. They get about 6 on the play, 2nd and 4 coming up. This time, Nope goes under center I formation. Elowich the tailback, Mariba the fullback. Couple wide receivers out of the I. It's Elowich on the carry out across midfield down to the 48 where Parker LaFrance is there. That's going to be a 1st down, though, for the Bulldogs. So they move the chains on a couple of runs. Nope does not throw the ball that often, but he's actually pretty accurate when he does. And again, Stasium will be his primary target when they go to the air, but they don't do it very much because they are so good running the ball. Ben Trefethen getting everyone hyped on the sideline on the near side for Portland. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs in Oxford Hills territory at the 48. Elowich the tailback, under center Nope, the pitch to Elowich, running far side. Elowich is stopped after a short gain. Good job by the Vikings to really flow to the ball that time. In on the stop, it looked like for Oxford Hills was Cade Truman and Cole Dunham. He is able to navigate to the 46-yard line, only a 2-yard gain, though, to bring up 2nd and 8 for Portland.
Yeah, good job for the linebackers to really string that out and cover up the cutback lanes, because we know how much Zach Elowich loves to cut back through the teeth of the defense and break it off for huge gains.
So it's 2nd down and 8 from the 46. Handoff Elowich on the far side, and he is stopped. Not much room to run. Dunham was all over it, along with, I believe, Travis May as well. Nicely done. We'll bring up 3rd down. All right, so now we got 3rd down here at the 48-yard line after a loss of 2 on that run for Elowich. Nope, back in the shotgun now. 3 wide receivers. Takes a snap, dump off Elowich on the far side. First pass of the game is complete. Elowich drives for the 1st down. Depends on where they spot the ball. He is very close. Good little play call, and it's enough for a 1st down. Elowich, a very heads-up play, diving right to the 38-yard line to move the chains, and they actually spot at the 37.
And that's basically the same as the toss play they run. They can just, by throwing it out there on a swing pass, it's faster. They really block it the same way.
1st and 10, Portland, 7:38 remaining. 1st quarter, Nope under center I formation. Portland doing what they do. Handoff Elowich, off right tackle, good job. 1st man there for Oxford Hills was number 56 in white, David Dingley. He slowed him down, and he only gets a couple yards on that one to the 45, or pardon me, to the 35. So 2-yard gain on the play brings up 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard run by Elowich. Again, nothing fancy from Portland. They're going to do what they do, and that's hand off to Elowich and
run downhill.
When they had to, the little short, safe pass to Elowich as well. Under center is Nope on 2nd and 8. A pitch this time, Elowich running near side. Elowich escapes one defender, cuts back middle of the field to the 30, spins around inside the 30, and is finally tackled at the 28-yard line. Maybe a yard short of a first down, depending on where they spot it here. It appears to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs, who are on the move on their first drive of the game after they forced an Oxford Hills punt. 6:26 remaining in the first quarter of action. And Portland have a sense of deja vu the way they're holding on to the ball so long here.
Taking it to 3rd down on every set of downs.
Under center, Nope. On 3rd and short, it's Elowich up the middle. Good job by Oxford Hills, but I think he just got enough. They stacked him up. Actually, apparently they gave that to Mariba that time. Check that. So pardon me, it's Mariba who got the handoff, and he gets the first down. So a little change up there. Number 21, Jamal Mariba, who kind of plays a fullback role for them, got the first down. Now Mariba back at his fullback spot, and Elowich is the tailback this time on 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. In the I formation, Nope under center. It's Mariba again, up the middle. So a little bit of a wrinkle with Mariba, the fullback, in a couple carries here, down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, he doesn't get many carries. They probably didn't work on that too much this week, and Portland knows that, so they're going to try to take advantage of that here.
In terms of Oxford Hills game planning for him as opposed to Elowich.
Right.
Mariba just straight up the middle. Elowich kind of looks for a hole and tries to exploit it, where Mariba very downhill right away. Stasium split out wide to the right, everyone else up tight. I formation here again. And this time it's Elowich up the middle, and Elowich is stopped. Almost nothing on that one. Good job that time again by Cole Dunham in on that stop. He has had such a great season. He was, of course, all conference as well. Class A North. The ball's at the 20-yard line now on 3rd down, coming up in 4. So this is a big 3rd down if you're Oxford Hills. Of course, Portland would probably go for it on 4th down anyway, but if you can somehow get a negative play out of this, you'd be in pretty good shape. So 3rd and 4, can the Vikings get off the field at the 20-yard line of Oxford Hills for Portland? Nope under center, Mariba and Elowich in the backfield. Nope fumbles the snap and falls on it immediately. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we got the negative play.
Yeah, he didn't lose a ton of yards because he was under center, but he lost 1. And it'll bring up 4th down for the Bulldogs. Not in field goal range as far as I'm aware. They have a good place kicker in Vumpa, but this is not a situation where they would kick it.
Right.
So Nope and company will go for it on 4th down at the Oxford Hills 21-yard line. Vikings need one more stop to get the ball back here. Elowich to the right of Nope, who's in the shotgun here on 4th down. Takes a snap, play action fake, throws far side, the slant to Jacobson, incomplete. Good coverage by Parker LaFrance, and it's a turnover on downs. 1st down, Oxford Hills.
We talked about that last week with putting, Parker or Colton, someone bigger, when they split out, a big receiver or tight end like that. And it looks like they've done that this week, putting Parker out playing corner there, and it worked out pretty well.
Nicely done. So the Vikings force the turnover on downs, and they take over at their own 21-yard line. Colton Carson in shotgun on 1st and 10. Last time he fumbled the snap to start the drive, which kind of slowed things down. He'll run it this time, and he is stopped right away at the 20-yard line. This Portland line is so good up front. They're very physical. It is tough to get any space against them. Big number 65, Jonah Green, was in the middle of that one. He is 6'5", 230 pounds, and an all-conference lineman in his own right at the defensive end spot. it's tough to – the two defensive ends, Green and Kapongo, are just absolutely monsters for Portland. So Oxford Hills lost a yard on that one, 2nd and 11. There's 3 minutes and 2 seconds left in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Carson in the gun. Takes a snap. Luke goes in motion. We have a whistle and a flag. Dead ball foul on the near side. Looks like a false start from here. And it is. Yeah. So the Vikings, maybe a little nerves right now. It's going to be 2nd down and 16 after the false start from their own 15-yard line.
Well, if they're calling that, maybe they'll start calling Portland leaning every play like we talked about last time we played them. But I don't see that happening. They've ignored it for a long time.
2:55 to go. First quarter. It's 2nd and 16 for Oxford Hills. Deep in their own territory. 4 wide receivers, trips to the right for Colton Carson in the gun. Takes a snap, looking left. A little dump off Parker LaFrance. Far side, LaFrance to the 20. LaFrance 25-30 and out of bounds. Past the 30, near the first down marker, depending on where they spot him. Nice low catch and run for Parker LaFrance. Looks like it's going to be a little bit short of the first down marker, but 3rd and short coming up for Oxford Hills. The ball's going to be spotted right at the 30-yard line, it appears.
Looks like
now there's a little confusion. He had to get to the 31 if he wanted a first down.
Looks like the chain broke on the first down.
That's quite possible.
I thought it looked like they were a little too far apart, and then I realized that they were bending over trying to get it reattached.
So the chain gang looking to sort things out there on the far side of the field. It appears the ball is going to be spotted at the 30-yard line.
Now it just depends where the first down marker
actually
is.
I had it at the 31. So my guess is he's a yard short, but my guess is probably because anyone else is in the stadium right now.
Right.
Clock stop, 2:42 to go. First quarter. If you just joined us, the Vikings went 3 and out on their opening drive and punted. Portland won the toss and deferred. And then after the Vikings punted, Portland did their thing, held the ball for a while, but the Viking defense held. They were helped by a fumbled snap, but they ended up holding on a 4th down attempt by Portland. And then they got the ball back, and they're still looking for their first down here on their 2nd drive of the game. And I believe they're a yard short right now. But again, the officials are trying to sort out the chain gang situation. As you mentioned, a chain might have broken.
Yeah, that's why when you see someone running towards the sideline, you just drop it instead of trying to run away with it. Because if you're not on the same page, something's going to break.
Right, that's a good point, yeah. I've never actually operated chain gang, so
I've done it quite a bit, and they say, if someone's running right at you, about to get tackled in front of you, just drop it right there because they know where everything's marked. And they'll get you set right back up.
That probably happens relatively frequently, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you're trying to get to that first down marker, a lot of plays are designed to go to the sideline.
Yeah, when people dive and reach out with the ball, and then their whole body just takes it out.
So it looks like they have things set up over there now. Oxford Hills, a nice little play, a little dump off to Parker LaFrance. Kind of the same thing Portland did with Elowich on their drive. So it's going to be 3rd down and short here. 3rd and about 1 for Oxford Hills. LaFrance in the backfield with Carson, who's got 3 wide receivers, 2 on the far side. 3rd and short. LaFrance in the backfield, as I mentioned. Carson takes a snap. Someone moved early. I don't know who. Alex Turner saying it was Portland.
I saw, looked like the whole defensive line jump, but it could have been.
It was. Yep, encroachment on the defense, and that's going to be a first down for Oxford Hills. That's big. Good hard count that time by Colton Carson.
Yeah, I mean, if you're struggling to get first downs, that's one way to get them.
Of course, in the NFL, you get a free play as long as they don't touch anyone, and then you can throw it deep. But here they blow it dead. So it'll be first down for the Vikings after this 5-yard penalty. Ball spotted at their own 35-yard line. And Portland wanting an explanation here. Head coach Jim Hartman for the Bulldogs, who lost in the regional final last year to Wyndham. I believe they were in the state title game 2 or 3 years back.
Yeah, they were 2 years ago
2 years
Bonnie
ago.
Eagle.
Yeah, they lost to Bonnie Eagle. Portland themselves have not won a state title since, I believe, 2002. So it's been a while for them to actually win a state title. Oxford Hills has never won a state title. Their last appearance, their only appearance, was 1999. So a lot of the line certainly in this game a dream season for Oxford Hills, and they have it 1st and 10 now at their own 35-yard line. 2:34 to go, first quarter in a scoreless ball game. LaFrance in the backfield with Carson, 3 wide receivers on first down. Carson takes a snap, handoff, Parker LaFrance, running east to west. That might not be the best idea against this defense, and he is forced out of bounds for about a yard loss.
Looked like it was going to be a lot worse than that.
Being chased down by Chris Vincent, number 50, defensive lineman senior, 6'2", 179 pounds for Portland. So LaFrance goes the wrong direction. They're backing out the 32-yard line. And 2nd and 13 coming up for the Vikings with 2:21 left here in the first quarter. LaFrance did get out of bounds, and the clock stopped right now at least. 4 wide receivers for Carson. Emerson Brown, I believe, is in the backfield. Carson takes a snap back to pass, throws near side. Overshot his intended receiver, and that was J.J. Worcester. And I don't think anyone really saw that ball because right now Giovanni Mabungi is frustrated with himself because he was where that ball was being thrown. He charged in, and he would have picked that off if it had been the previous spot. So anyway, it's incomplete, and it's 3rd and 13 coming up. Aaron Moore's alongside Tasker Winslow here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. 2:17 remaining, first quarter, 3rd and 13 coming up for the Vikings. No score at their own 32. Man in motion, and Yannick's going to get it. And here goes Luchka, and he is tackled at the 34. So good pursuit again by that Portland defense. Jonah Green all over that one. So 4th down comes up.
I think they would have thrown in that situation. When I saw that jet motion, I was looking for play action out of it, but surprised to see him give it there.
They were hoping Portland was looking for a pass also, but Jonah Green would have none of it. So for the 2nd time, the Vikings have to punt. And Luksha is back to punt it. Stasium, the explosive return man for Portland. Ideally, you want to keep it away from him. Yannick steps into it, and it's blocked. It got tipped. It did go and takes an Oxford Hills bounce inside the 50 and down to the 48. So it got blocked, but not like blocked solidly. It got tipped more likely and then took an Oxford Hills bounce. Still good field position for Portland, but it could have been a lot worse for the Vikings at least.
Right, just some of Yannick's magic when he's punting.
And the turf here certainly, I think, helps probably.
Definitely.
So Portland will have it, 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line, but their last drive they started at their own 41 or 40, so not a whole lot of difference here in terms of field position, but they're winning the field position battle overall right now. 1:24 to go, first quarter in a scoreless contest. And Sam Nope and company.
Chain gang having some more trouble.
Nope in the shotgun with Elowich to his right on 1st and 10. They put Mariba in motion. Fake it to Mariba. Nope to run it. Nope in some trouble, and he's dropped in the backfield. Big stop by Cade Truman, and a big loss for the Portland offense there.
Yeah, wow, great job staying home. Saw that there was no room to run, tried to come back the other way, and Cade Truman was waiting for him.
Truman all over it for the Vikings.
He's had quite the breakout season.
He has. Dunham and LaFrance were the all-conference linebackers, but Truman had a really good year also. So, a loss of 4, 2nd and 14. Nope under center. Takes a snap. Handoff Elowich. Elowich trying to get to the outside. There's nothing there. Good pursuit again by that Oxford Hills defense. And it looks like Dunham was all over it, as well as a couple other Vikings, but Cole Dunham getting the kudos for that stop. Leading tackler in Class A North this year, all-conference linebacker. And now they're back at their own 44-yard line. They have to get to the Oxford Hills 42 here on 3rd and long with 15 seconds left in the first quarter, so not much time. Nope under center in the I formation. They'll just run it. Elowich, he's converted some of these before. LaFrance wraps him up, though, at about the 48 of Oxford Hills. He'll be shot. Oh, they gave him a good spot on this one. He fell forward to the 46, but he's still 4 yards short. So we'll see what they do on the other side of this break. First quarter comes to a close in the regional final. No score. Portland, Oxford Hills, back in 1 minute here on Ox Country and video feed MBR.org.
When you're hurt at work, at home, or on the field, you may think you only have two choices.
Visit the ER or wait weeks for an appointment with a specialist.
But who has time to wait? We know you don't.
We get it. It used to be hard to get in here, but things have changed.
We know that when you're in pain, you want to see the right doctor right away.
Our patients are busier than ever. We made it easier to get quick access to specialized orthopedic care.
We now have 2 ways for you to be seen by one of our orthopedic specialists on your time: spine access and ortho access.
If you've got back or neck pain, call us at 1-855-96-SPINE to schedule an appointment with Spine Access. You'll see one of our orthopedic spine specialists within 24 hours.
And Ortho Access is now open in Portland and Auburn for walk-in orthopedic care for recent injuries, pain, sprains, and strains.
So whether you suffered a fracture on the field or experiencing new sudden onset back pain, we'll see you now.
Portland opts to punt, and it's fielded by the Vikings and taken back to about the 20-yard line as we are welcoming you back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth here on our CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on the radio side of things, and on the video side, MBR.org.
Well, I think we are seeing our first glimpse of some of that social media stuff that was going on between the two teams this week.
Some Instagram beef, I hear.
Yes, there was a little jawing between David Dingley and Sam Knopp there.
We are in quarter number 2 now. Underway, no score, 1st and 10 for the Vikings after the Portland punt. Yannick goes in motion. Colton Carson takes a snap, and they'll try to run it up the middle this time, and there's just no room for Oxford Hills up the gut. They handed it off to Parker LaFrance, I believe, and he did not have much room to work with. No score, 11:38 to go. Second quarter of action as we are underway here in the second. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow here in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Nick Perry keeping some stats with us here as well. We're just having first quarter numbers. -1 rushing yards for Oxford Hills, so they have not been able to run the ball much. Elowich has 10 receiving yards to go along with a bunch of little short gains, a long run of 9. All right, so man in motion, that's Yannick. And then Carson takes the snap, back to pass, settles in the pocket, has time, wide open receiver at the 30-yard line, cutting up the field, and still on his feet, stumbling to the 40-yard line, out across the 40 to the 41 goes a hyped up Alex Turner. Big gain and a first down for Oxford Hills. Turner refused to go down there.
Yeah, he was, wow. And he didn't avoid the tacklers. He
ran through them.
Yeah, he just put his head down and went through them. And I mean, and then he ran out to the middle of the field and looking over at the Portland sideline. They're jacked up. They've been just gnawing at the bit, ready to play this game all week.
1st and 10 from their own 41 after that Turner catch and run for Oxford Hills. Carson in the shotgun. And he takes a snap. Fakes the handoff, will run it himself off right tackle. Colton Carson looking for some space, and he gets to midfield. Tripped up by Elowich for a nice run by Colton Carson. Shy of the first down, but will bring up 2nd and short. They'll spot at their own 49. So they need 2 yards here on 2nd down. 10:13 remaining in the second quarter. No score, but Oxford Hills trying to flip the field position here.
Yeah, and it looks like they've definitely settled in compared to their first couple drives.
Scoreless ball game. Vikings on the move. 2nd down and 2 from their own 49. Carson with LaFrance in the backfield. 3 wides. Man in motion. That's Yannick. Takes a snap. Carson to run it near side. To midfield. Carson cuts outside. 45-40 to the 35. Cuts back 30 to the 25. And down the 22-yard line. Colton Carson finally brought down that time after a huge gain. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Koa Farnsworth, one of the best linemen in all of Maine, and showing he's able to get down the field, and he had to but Colton Carson gets a first down and then some. 30-yard run for Colton Carson.
Yeah, this is night and day compared to their first couple drives. The offensive line is actually getting some push, you know, moving that big defensive line of Portland, and it's starting to open up some holes for the running backs and for Colton Carson.
All right, ball spot at the Portland 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for Oxford Hills. 9:18 to go in the half. Trips to the right, 4 wide receivers. The tailback, Emerson Brown, is to the right of Carson in the shotgun on 1st and 10. From the 21, Carson to run it. Going outside, trying to get the edge, running east to west. He does fall forward inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. The bowl of energy, Ben Trefethen, in on the stop. The senior Trefethen just is such an energetic player for Portland, and also an all-conference player for Portland, making that tackle. Ball at the 19-yard line of the Bulldogs after a 2-yard Carson run. Trips to the left this time. 4 wide receivers on 2nd and 8. LaFrance the back. Carson in shotgun. Takes a snap. Back to pass. Looking near side. And it's caught at the 10. Brought down there. Luke Shaw on the catch. And the tackle made by Giovanni Mbunji. But not before Yannick appears to have a first down. He does. They signal it.
I'd love to see this offense throwing in the red zone. That was something that we could never really figure out when I was playing, and to see them be able to be multi-dimensional in the red zone, it's just good to see.
So Luke Shaw, nice grab, and he's down to the 9. 1st and goal now for Oxford Hills. 3 wide receivers for Colton Carson. Emerson Brown, the back. Brown to the right of Carson in the backfield on 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Carson takes a snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw on the slant. Tipped, intended for Turner, incomplete. Covered on the play by Zach Alowich. And that'll bring up 2nd and goal. 7:52 remaining. Throws a little high, I think, for Turner.
Yep, and there's more talking, too.
Well, you touched on this. There's been some Instagram beef, just all in good fun between Portland and Oxford Hills. But I told Tasker this. I'm 30 years old. We didn't have Instagram beefs in high school because Instagram did not exist.
Right.
We had MySpace beef.
Not even.
No, we had MySpace, but we didn't have beefs.
No beef.
Unless you weren't in someone's top 8, right?
Right.
But 2nd and goal.
I don't understand that reference.
No, you're too young to get that reference. I'm too old to get the Instagram stuff.
Right.
All right, we have a timeout called by the Vikings. 7:52 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Quick 30-second break here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. 2nd and goal for Oxford Hills in the 2nd quarter of a scoreless game. The winner goes to the state championship game, and that'll be played right back here next weekend on Saturday, the 17th. Oxford Hills looking to make their first state championship game appearance since 1999. Colton Carson on 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. 3 wide receivers. LaFrance in the backfield. Puts a man in motion. That's Yannick. Option to the right. The pitch to Lucha. He's to the 5-yard line. Still on his feet. Dives to the pylon. He is in. Touchdown, Oxford Hills. With 7:40 to go in the 2nd quarter. Yannick from 9 yards out on the option pitch from Colton Carson. And it's 6-0 Vikings.
That play has done so well for them all season. We saw him run it really well against Bonnie Eagle in that big win. And last week against Chevers for some big gains. Usually it's Parker LaFrance taking the pitch, but it looks good with Yannick doing it too.
Lucia for the extra point now. All conference place kicker. Kick is up. Kick is good with 7:40 to go in the 2nd quarter, I should say. The score is now Oxford Hills 7, Portland nothing. Vikings strike first back in 30 seconds here on Ox Country. Video feed, MBR.org.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow welcome you back into Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. We have 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second quarter, and the score is Oxford Hills 7 and Portland nothing. After Yannick Luksha takes it in from 9 yards out on an option pitch, and now Yannick kicks it away on the far side. It's going to be returned by Ben Stasium. He's an explosive playmaker, but he tripped and fell there, and he's covered up quickly that time. Nicely done on special teams by Noah Wifero, and Portland will start with probably their worst field position of the game here.
Has to be, yeah. They probably averaged starting at their own 45. So where are they now? The 22, 23?
Yep. So the Vikings went 59 yards on that drive behind a nice catch and run by Alex Turner and a big 30-yard run from Colton Carson on that drive as well, capped off by the Luksha touchdown run. All right, Nope under center. Elowich the tailback. Mariba the fullback. Jacobson goes in motion. The pitch to Elowich. Elowich running near side, trying to get to the edge, and is shut down on the 25-yard line. All over it was Dunham. Alex Turner in on the stop as well. Well, so far so good from Oxford Hills. A little jitters to start. They survived that. They've forced a turnover on downs on defense as well as a punt. And now this is Portland's third drive of the game, and Oxford Hills still up 7-0 after they scored on their third drive of the game from a 9-yard Yannick Luksha touchdown run. 6:55 remaining in the first half. It's 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard run from Elowich to the 25-yard line. Nope in the gun. Elowich to his left. The sweep for Stasium, and there is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide from this Viking defense. They were all over it. Very well done by Oxford Hills. I want to say the first man there was David Dingley, but there were a couple guys.
Might have been Cade Truman.
As well. Okay.
One of those two spun him down.
Stasium had no room to run. 6:23 to go in the half. 7-0 Vikings lead.
Oxford Hills linebackers are, showing Portland that, hey, we can play just as hard and as fast as you guys.
The winner will play the winner of Thornton and Scarborough in the state title game. Scarborough defending state champions, Thornton undefeated this year. Nope under center. It's going to be Elowich off left tackle. And Dunham, the first man there, he'll bring him down at the 25, well short of the first down, bring up 4th down. The Bulldogs have to punt now.
Huge momentum swing.
Yeah, if you get Portland in 3rd and long, they'll still try to run it, it appears, and sometimes that works. Sometimes Elwich will just bust off a run, it'll be a first down, but not the way this Viking defense is playing right now. Michael Bonang back deep to return this punt from Elowich. Handles the punting duties as well. He does a lot for this Portland team. Elowich to punt it to Bonang. Handles the snap, steps into it. Bonang, fair catch, and he makes it at the 43. 5:10 to go right now in the second quarter. It's 7-0 in favor of the Vikings over the Bulldogs. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. Tyler running camera, Alicia back in studio. We've got Nick on site with some stats for us. And the Vikings, 4th drive of the game. They got a touchdown out of their last one. And they'll have it 1st and 10 here from their own 43-yard line.
I say keep throwing the ball around. It's what's been working. You can't really run it between the tackles against this defensive line and linebacking core for Portland.
Trips, pardon me, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. LaFrance in the backfield. Carson hands it off to LaFrance, and there's just nowhere to go. I mean, my goodness. Kapongo was in that backfield before anyone could even blink. And ball back to the 39 now.
For Oxford Hill's offensive line, they're good run blocking, but this is an exceptional defensive line. Where they really excel, though, is in pass blocking. They've done so well blocking for Colton Carson, even against this Portland team when they played them during the regular season. So, like I said, throw it around a little bit. That's what's been working. You had a couple of big gains off pass plays, so go right back to it.
Carson running himself has worked as well if he can get to the outside space, but yeah, up the middle can be tough. Carson on second down has 4 wide receivers, takes a snap, back to pass, has a clean pocket, now under some pressure, hit while he throws, over the middle, incomplete. Elowich was the closest man there. It was intended, I believe, for Yannick Luksha, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. Now bring up 3rd and 14.
Yeah, he's got to lead him a little bit more towards the middle on that post route. I'd say, when I was playing quarterback, post route is probably one of the hardest things to throw because, when it's shorter like a slant, you can just zing it in there and there's no one you got to really look out for. But when you're throwing it over the middle like that, you got to put enough touch, and it's a weird angle to try to lead a receiver too.
All right, so it's 3rd and 14. Not an ideal situation certainly here for the Vikings. Carson with trips to the right. 4 wide receivers, rolls to his right. And now looking to throw. Heaves it deep down the far side. It's going to be intercepted. Intended for Turner. And then picked off. That was Stasium who out-jumped Turner for that one and picks it off. But really, that's like a punt. He threw it so far down the field. It's at the 32-yard line. Turner immediately covered him up. So it's basically an arm punt from Colton Carson. And so Portland will take over after the Stasium interception because it was 3rd and 14. If that falls incomplete, they're punting it anyway.
Yeah.
So, but Portland decent field position now. 1st and 10, their own 32.
I'm surprised that he was covered as well as he was too, where you'd think they'd want to come up really fast seeing Colton Carson roll out like that.
Nope, under center, handoff Elowich, and he is spun around, being chased, and somehow escapes, and then LaFrance finally gets in there to clean it up. Initial hit, though, Ashton Child, sophomore, was all over it, number 29, unless they switch jerseys. It could be Marcus Stone.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like Marcus Stone.
He's wearing 29, though, and that's Ashton Child, so it sure looks like Marcus Stone, though, was the first man there. Based on what we've seen this season, we haven't called Child's name ever, and Stone is typically very good. So maybe they switched jerseys for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's not Ashton Child.
No, okay. So Marcus Stone was the first man there, and then there was no gain after LaFrance finally got to him. All right, 2nd and 10, 3:30 to go, first quarter, 7-0 in favor of the Vikings. Nope in shotgun. Elowich to his right. 3 wide receivers. Nope takes a snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw under some pressure from Worcester. Throws it deep. Jump ball here, and Turner knocks it down. There's a flag on the play intended for Jacobson.
What?
I'm not sure if this is offensive or defensive because Turner sure as heck was going for the ball.
Yeah, that's
Jacobson
got to
is
be
arguing he was being held. He's complaining. Turner clapping his hands. So is LaFrance.
It's got to be against the offense.
Pass interference offensive, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Turner almost had that one picked off, and I think Jacobson was clawing at him.
Yeah, he came down over the back.
Yeah. So good coverage by Turner on Jacobson. And offensive pass interference after that ball fell incomplete. 3:16 remaining. Second quarter, 7-0. Vikings on top of the Bulldogs in this regional final. Remember, during the regular season, it was a 17-14 win for Portland. They're going to sort out where they're going to spot this. Offensive pass interference, somewhat rare. You don't see it as much.
I think it could be called just as much, but it's one of those things that's kind of overlooked in, high school football.
So they'll move this one back quite a bit. 3:16 to go, second quarter. If you just joined us, the Vikings have the lone score in this game. Yannick with a 9-yard run on the option pitch. I had such a hard time with that last name. He's just like Madonna now. He's just Yannick.
Yeah, just Yannick, yeah.
Luksha with the touchdown run for the Vikings. All right, here's the run. Elowich, big hole to the 35-40, to midfield. He could go all the way. Zach Elowich to the house. Touchdown, Portland. That is an 82-yard touchdown run for Zach Elowich right up the gut.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you got to prevent. He'll do that against maybe some lesser teams. He did not do that against Oxford Hills last time.
Right, right.
The time of possession is what happened last time and ended up going Portland's way. This time, though, Elowich, an explosive play, 82 yards and a touchdown. So on for the extra point is Vumpa. High extra point, and it's good. So, with 3:02 to go in the first half, we got ourselves a good one. We're all tied at 7. Quick 30-second break here on Ox Country video feed at MBR.org.
Life doesn't pause when you're in pain. We understand that you want to keep up. Don't stay sidelined from making some of life's best memories. Visit the orthopedic specialists at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow here in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. On the kickoff return, the Oxford Hills Vikings get a decent run back here out across the 35-yard line from Yannick Luksha. Nice return, no doubt about it. We're all tied at 7. Just joined us, Zach Elowich just bursted through the middle of the line for an 82-yard touchdown run, and he showed off some impressive speed there, didn't he, Tasker?
Yeah, and how they set that play up was they ran jet motion away from it, got the linebackers flowing to the right, and then ran it back to the left with Elowich, and there was just nobody there to stop him.
No one home, all the way to the house. So the Vikings looking to answer, now tied at 7. Carson shotgun on 1st and 10, takes a snap, runs to the right, falls forward for a couple yards, but not much room. And there's not going to be much room most of the time. Chris Vincent was in on that stop. 2:38 to go. Elowich has 12 carries now for 117 yards, 82 of them on that one run. But there you have it. I mean, this guy, he had 169 rushing yards last time against the Vikings, and he's well on his way to probably more than that in this game. He had 263 rushing yards against Edward Little.
Wow.
2:15 to go in the half. 2nd and 8 for Oxford Hills at their own 38. Carson in shotgun. Takes a snap. Fakes the handoff to LaFrance, looking to run it himself. Got a good block from Worcester, and then gets out across the 42 to the 43-yard line before Vincent was in on the stop again for Portland. 3rd down, but very manageable for Oxford Hills at their own 43, right between the hash marks. They need to get to the 46 for a 1st down, about 3 yards. Needed here for Oxford Hills with 1:36 to go in the half, so this could be huge if they can somehow drive down the field and get some points out of this.
Or at least a field goal.
Right.
Something.
We saw Portland get that field goal at the end of the first half last time these two teams played, and that ended up being the difference in the game, 3 points.
Yeah.
3 wide receivers here, 3rd and 3. Carson to run it, up the middle. Carson avoids a defender, stiff arm to midfield and a 1st down. The ball came out at the end. They do rule it was down. Carson was immediately pointing to the turf saying, I was down. The refs agreed. 1st and 10 coming up for the Vikings from midfield after that Colton Carson run. Clock stops to move the chains. 1:08 to go in the half. All tied up at 7. Portland, remember, will get the ball to start the 2nd half because they won the toss and deferred. So, Oxford Hills on the move, though. Inside a minute, not much time here. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Carson in shotgun, 3 wides. On 1st and 10, Bonang in motion. Carson takes a snap, back to pass, throws far side, too high for Bonang and nearly intercepted. It falls incomplete. Stasium dove for it.
Great job by Parker LaFrance picking up that blitz from Ben Trefethen. That's not someone that, you know, you're really looking forward to having to take on in the backfield on a blitz, but he did a great job with it. He got lower than him and won that battle.
So the incompletion does stop the clock. 2nd and 10 with 37.4 seconds left in the half. They're going to need an explosive play, though. The Vikings, it's funny, Portland kind of turned the tables on them. Vikings are known for their explosive plays, and Portland got one from Elowich. 82-yard touchdown run. Tied this game up. 4 wide receivers on 2nd and 10 from midfield for Colton Carson. And this Oxford Hills offense takes the snap, back to pass, settles in the pocket, has time, unleashes a deep ball just beyond the reach of Alex Turner. And I mean, I think Turner might have gotten his hands on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Off his hands, incomplete, 3rd down. He had a step on his defenders. There were 2 of them, though. It was a perfect throw from Colton Carson.
And that would have been huge. With 30 seconds left, it would have brought him down. Probably would have gotten pushed out around the 10 there.
Right. So 31.6 seconds left in the half, tied at 7. 3rd and 10 for Oxford Hills from midfield. Just missing Turner on that deep ball.
Now here with 3rd and 10, do you just run something and then take a knee to let the time go out, or do you?
We'll find out.
Because you don't want to
timeouts also.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Trips to the right on 3rd down. Under some pressure, he's sacked. Capongo just tapped him and he fell over. Remember, Capongo is 6'5", 280 pounds, so he doesn't need to hit you that hard to bring you down, and he did there. Sacked back at the 45, and I think they may let the clock run out. I don't think Portland's going to use one of their timeouts either. At least they haven't yet. After that sack, Carson was feeling the pressure right away there. And Portland says, let's go to halftime. So, we're going to the half, tied at 7. Yannick Luksha, a 9-yard touchdown run, and Zach Elowich, an 82-yard touchdown run. Those are your scores in this game at the half. With the score, Oxford Hills 7, Portland 7. Back in a bit. This is Ox Country 96.9 FM, and, of course, video feed at MBR.org.
So the athlete is usually either sent over from their trainer, primary care physician, or sometimes from the school directly. My goal is always to get these kids in within 24 hours from the time of their injury. There are a few reasons why they would need to go to the ER that after, if they had an injury at a game, which the athletic trainer usually takes care of. But most of the time these kids are fine enough to wait until the next day, just rest that night, and then we'll see them the next morning. So the first visit is like any other office visit we'll have. We'll have them come in, fill out the paperwork about their injury, their concussion, and kind of go through their symptoms, and then we'll do an exam, which is pretty thorough regarding their balance, range of motion of their neck, as well as looking at their cranial nerves, any dysfunction that we can find. A lot of times it's more the, just looking at the athlete, and you can see the concussion almost in their eyes. A lot of times there's not a whole lot else on exam that we can find, and that's good. Usually if you see something more focally, a focal neurologic defect, that's where we're getting a little more concerned. Some of these kids will recover really quickly. Other ones can take weeks and months to fully resolve. Most importantly, once again, is the physical exam and just talking to the patient. In terms of scans, it's rare that you need to do any scans, especially a CT scan. Those are more reserved for if somebody had a prolonged consciousness, or they're having worsening symptoms, or they have a focal neurologic defect. As long as they don't have those, we rarely don't do any imaging, because there's not much you're going to see. Concussion is an injury, microscopic injury to the brain. It's not something that you can see on an imaging study. When you're doing a CT, looking more to see if there's a bleed, which is replicating the picture. The only test that we do run is there is a TAC test, which is one of the cognitive testing tools that are out there to help determine, for me, more return to play. It's not a tool that helps necessarily, I don't use it to diagnose a concussion. It helps me to determine if the brain has recovered and are they ready to more to their sporting level. So it's really an adjunct rather than the tool. Usually if it's going on 2 weeks, we don't recommend going to PT in those first 2 weeks. We just try to get them better because majority of people will improve in that amount of time. If they're still having symptoms after weeks, then we'll discuss maybe getting into some rehab to see if we can hasten their recovery. That being said, when we work with professional athletes, a lot of times they are trying to get right in, they need to get back, so we are getting them into rehab sometimes right away to try to hasten their recovery as well. So, for me, for concussions, once again, depends on their symptoms. After our initial visit, we'll really discuss our plan for the short term and any restrictions for school sports. I usually have the parents contact me, usually within about a week, to let me know how the student's responding, and if they have resolution of symptoms, there's no reason to follow up. If they're still having symptoms, then I will usually discuss once again my thoughts for the next week. And if they're just not responding over a couple of weeks, that's when I usually start seeing them back. Or if I have an athlete who's been having symptoms for weeks and weeks on end, that really needs kind of a closer follow-up. We'll follow up with them quite regularly with their physical therapy to make sure that they're progressing in the right direction.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center, Central Maine Orthopedics, OA Centers for Orthopedics, all playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Winter People Athletics creates custom athletic apparel, including team uniforms and spirit wear. They support team sports programs by offering a variety of clothing and other merchandise which can be personalized with team logos, player numbers, and names, and various other options. They can also provide innovative custom screen printing and embroidered apparel to create fun and engaging fan and booster items to sell for your team fundraising efforts. Call Steve Haynes, Athletic Apparel Consultant, at 207 869-6019 or online at winterpeople.com. Full Court Press is on your team. Full Court Press is more than just a coffee shop. Some of their print services include color copies, black and white copies, posters, bindings, calendars, cards, business cards, and every door direct mail. They're located at 855 Main Street in Westbrook. Call them today at 207-464-0002 or request an estimate, place an order, and much more on their website at fullcourtpress.biz. That's fullcourtpress.biz. When you need a copy shop to bring the heat, it's time to hire Full Court Press.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations, or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
The 18th Annual MBR All-Star Weekend takes place November 17th and 18th at the Augusta Civic Center, presented by Spectrum Healthcare Partners. The weekend consists of the best high school basketball players throughout northern and southern Maine, squaring off from 6th grade to 12th grade. Boys and girls, get signed up now. Find more information at mainbasketballreport.com or at mbr.org. November 17th and 18th, you'll be able to watch the live stream of those games as well at mbr.org. All presented by Spectrum Healthcare Partners.
Video feed as well for Oxford Hill's Portland matchup here on the CCC Hammer number game of the week on 969 Ox Country. And don't forget the halftime sponsor, Oxford Federal Credit Union. Thanks for their support all year long, certainly as Tasker. And what are your thoughts on that first half, 7-7 tie here at halftime?
Well, I think one way you can look at it is that both of these teams are so explosive and unpredictable that so is momentum. The momentum switches back and forth so much, and so 1 second it seems like Portland's dominating, and the next second it seems like Oxford Hills is dominating, but really it's pretty even.
Yeah, it's been very, very even in this game, certainly between these two teams. As pardon me, if the audio is a little low right now, we're trying to work on that here on our end. I didn't change anything at halftime, so. But how about this? We'll take another break. We'll try to work on that, and we'll be back in a little bit. We'll have the second half kickoff again. It's tied at 7. Zach Elowich has a big touchdown run for Portland, and Yannick Luchka has a 9-yard touchdown run for Oxford Hills. Back in a moment here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
Ortho Access is an orthopedic walk-in clinic, and it's the only one in the state of Maine. It's designed to sort of meet patients where they are, so meet our patients and our community's needs.
I bring the patients in and I'll do the initial triage, kind of get their history of what happened, determine what body part hurts, and figure out what medications they're on, kind of their background information. Once I get that information, I'll talk with the provider and determine whether they need imaging.
I'll go in the room, examine the patient, we'll review the x-rays together, and then decide if the patient needs blood work or further imaging like an MRI, which is easy because we have MRI right here. It's very convenient for people. Or any splinting, casting, we do that all right here as well. So people tend to be pretty happy with sort of everything in one place.
We'll see fractures, so we see plenty of broken bones, and it's a lot of extremities, so a lot of foot, ankle, and wrist injuries. We see plenty of people who are coming in because they're worried that they have something big or they have a broken bone, and so we're here sort of for reassurance a lot of times that they don't.
We see tons of athletes right off of the field. A lot of the local athletic trainers are really good about sending their patients right here instead of sending them to the emergency room, saving them a wait, which is nice. And they can kind of get everything all at once. They can get their x-rays, they can get a brace or a cast if they need it, instead of having to go to multiple different locations.
So the youngest patient I've seen, I think, is probably 18 months. And then I think I've seen a 99-year-old in ortho access. So you can imagine they're coming in with really different problems. Might be a slip on the ice. We've seen a ton of that recently. Or it might be they were at the trampoline park, twisted their ankle, or it might be a football injury where they fell and twisted their knee. We cut out the middleman, so to speak, so they could get right into OA, get x-rays if they need that, and either get the treatment that they need right off the bat or kind of high-level triage and get them to the next best provider who really should see them.
So usually we are the busiest right when we open, and then later on in the day it usually slows down a bit and the wait time is significantly less. We've had people start at the ER and they have left because they're so frustrated and come here and are in and out within an hour, which is nice.
It does feel good. I mean, patients say, wow, this is great. This is a lot better than sitting in the waiting room in an emergency room where usually there's a ton of orthopedic issues that come into ERs and most of them are not going to be urgent. So they're going, naturally they're going to be waiting a longer period. So yeah, it does feel good.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow, live from Fitzpatrick Stadium, the home of the Portland Bulldogs. This is a CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 Ox Country, and the video feed, of course, at MBR.org. It is halftime, tied at 7. If you're just joining us, the Vikings struck first after a scoreless first quarter. Yannick Lukshka had a 9-yard touchdown run off an option pitch, and then Zach Elowich took it 82 yards later in the quarter, straight up the middle to tie the game. So Lukshka for the Vikings, and then Elowich for the Bulldogs. A couple of all-conference players showing why they are all-conference. And some first-half stats courtesy of Nick Perry. Colton Carson for Oxford Hills, 5 of 11 for 46 yards through the air. He also has 47 rushing yards, including a 30-yard run. And then Zach Elowich has 12 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown. Of course, he also has a one reception for 10 yards as well there for Portland. All right, so Oxford Hills will kick off to start the third quarter of action. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. Elowich back deep along with Stasium for Portland. Stasium on the near side. Luke Shep kicks it away, I should say, and then Stasium charges up, fields it to 30, now 35, to the 38 before he is tackled. There's a flag that comes in from behind the play, or I should say in front of the play, if you will, from the back judge. So we'll see what the flag is, but right now the ball spotted at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Portland. And, folks, it is raining here. Nick, you okay over there? Yeah, okay. It is raining here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. 11:53 remaining third quarter after the kickoff. This looks like it might be going against Portland on the flag. It might be a late hold. We'll see, or a late block in the back on these returns.
Great open field tackle by Alex Turner, too.
Yeah, that was a nice play on special teams because Stasium caught that with a head of steam.
Yeah, he was at a full sprint when he caught that.
He was on the move. We are tied at 7, just underway third quarter. The penalty is against Portland, so they're going to spot this at the 28. It'll be a 10-yard penalty. So the rain's coming down. Portland has the football. We're tied at 7, and this half will determine who goes to the state championship game. Nope, under center. The tailback is Elowich. Elowich on the handoff, and he is stopped. That was Austin Dowdy. And Austin Dowdy, just such a force on both sides of the ball. He got hurt late in the season, but he's made a comeback.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's good to have him back.
Dowdy all over Elowich there after a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9. And again, Elowich scares you only because he can burst through that line and then turn on the Jets at any time. So the focus got to be on him. 2nd and 9. Nope can run it, though, as well. He hasn't really shown it yet today, but we've seen him run. He had 2 touchdowns last time these two teams played. Nope takes a snap, back to pass. Over the middle, he's got a big target, complete to the 45-yard line. That is big number 85, Tyler Blazewski, a tight end, 6'5", 220 pounds, and he makes the catch over the middle for a first down to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 after a 16-yard completion from Sam Nope. The junior quarterback, he's accurate. He really is. They just don't throw it that often. Right. 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Portland on the move. Nope under center, takes a snap. He'll roll to his right, looking to throw. He'll dump it off, and it's complete to Mariba, and Mariba gets it to midfield and into Oxford Hills territory to the 49-yard line. Probably to the 45-yard line, pardon me. My Bulldog orientation was thrown off there, but he's to the 45 of Oxford Hills and just shy of a first down. So a 9-yard completion to Mariba on a good rollout from Nope. 10:28 to go, third quarter, tied at 7. Portland moving the football on the opening drive of this quarter at the Oxford Hills 45-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. Nope under center. Mariba the tailback this time. And they'll give it to Mariba up the middle. Mariba has the first down, still on his feet. Finally, Luksha and Carson bring him down at the Oxford Hills 39. And a first down for Jamal Mariba and then some. Mariba is a junior, so he'll be back next year as well. They do lose a lot of talent, though. A lot of seniors will be graduating, including Kapongo, who's so good up front. Farnsworth as well. Vincent, a lot of their big guys are graduating.
It seems like they lose a lot of seniors every year, but they bounce back pretty well.
Nope under center on 1st and 10. It's going to be Elowich, who is refusing to go down. Finally, he's tackled by his ankles. Yannick Lushka got him down to the 32, though. Nice little run by Elowich. There's a flag on the play against Portland. This will move it back. Flag right at the 38. It's like a hold.
Now they've got to talk it over.
LaFrance
going to pick up the flag.
Yeah, it's holding against Portland. They're signaling it. They wanted to save. I think you'd accept that penalty. I mean, there's no way you decline that.
Right, right.
It was a nice run. So they'll move him back, repeat the down. First down and long now at the 48. So they're at the Oxford Hills 48. First down, but they have to get all the way to the Oxford Hills 29 for a first down here. So it's 1st and 19 for Portland after the holding penalty. Nope, in shotgun this time. He's got 3 wide receivers. Elowich to his left, takes a snap, back to pass. Nope, throwing deep down the near side, looking for Jacobson, and incomplete. Covered on the play by Yannick Lushka. The pass was overthrown. Jacobson trying to argue he was interfered with, but I don't think it was catchable. And that's
he argues every call or no call. It's nothing new. He's
a senior tight end. This is his utility. He was an all-conference utility on offense because he does a variety of things for Portland. Throw was too far for him, though. Incomplete. 2nd and 19. Clock stop, 9:24 to go.
I don't know how you can even ask for pass interference on that.
I mean, he felt himself getting. I don't think he realized it was probably as uncatchable as it was. Nope.
Right.
Under center this time on 2nd and 19. Takes a snap. Rolls to his right, looking to throw. Under some pressure on the run. Throws incomplete. Parker LaFrance was all over the intended receiver, Jamal Mariba. And he'll bring up 3rd and long.
Great play by Parker LaFrance to get a hand in there, but keep his left hand wrapped behind just in case it was caught so he can secure the tackle.
Some good coverage from the Vikings. 3rd and 19 for Portland. This is one of those times they might just hand it off, but we'll see.
Austin Dowdy comes out, and Colby Van Decker comes in for him.
On defense. 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 19 for Nope and the Bulldogs. Takes a snap, back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, throws deep down the near side, looking for Jacobson again, incomplete. As Michael Bonang was on the coverage, he'll bring up 4th down.
It seems like he's complaining after every play no matter what happens.
Maybe they're trying to jam the line of scrimmage. He's a big target. Jacobson stands in at 6'2", 224 pounds. Elowich to punt it now. Back deep for the Vikings is Michael Bonang, standing at his own 10-yard line. And Elowich to punt it from his own 40. Takes the snap. Elowich boots it away. Bonang lets it go, and it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So Viking football with 9:06 to go in the 3rd quarter, tied at 7 in the rain. Now, rain on turf, does it impact much, from your opinion?
It sometimes, depending on what your spikes are like, if you have hard plastic bottoms or rubber bottoms, the hard plastic I think tends to slip a little bit more on turf, where it's kind of the opposite on regular grass. You're gonna have a better chance with hard plastic bottoms, but other than that, it doesn't make that much of a difference, I don't think.
1st and 10, Vikings from their own 20 after the touchback, tied at 7, 9:06 to go, 3rd quarter. Carson in the gun, LaFrance in the backfield with them. 3 wide receivers. They put a man in motion. That's Yannick. Carson takes a snap, back to pass. Over the middle, looking for Worcester. He's got him at the 45. Worcester to midfield, 45-40. Worcester trying to turn on the Jets to the 30, inside the 25, and finally tackled at the 20-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle by Zach Elowich, but not before J.J. Worcester takes it 50 yards to the 20-yard line.
Colton had his eye on him the whole time from the snap. He was looking right at him. He knew where he wanted to go. He loves to hit.
Should say 60 yards to the 20-yard line for J.J. Worcester.
He loves to hit J.J. Worcester
60-yard
in the
reception
seam like that.
From 120 to the other 20. Do basic math, Aaron. You can do it. 60-yard completion at J.J. Worcester. And what a big play for the Vikings there to the Portland 20. Right over the middle. And Elowich made the touchdown saving tackle for Portland. Parker LaFrance in the backfield. Colton Carson takes a snap. Carson to run it, trying to find some space up the middle, and he is spun down that time by Kapongo after a modest gain. Just inside the 20. They're wiping the ball off between plays, so I don't know exactly. I think about a 1 yard gain for Colton Carson. 8:20 to go, third quarter, tied at 7.
This quarter's gone by a lot slower. A few more passes.
Right. J.J. Worcester, a 60-yard catch over the middle. LaFrance to the left of Carson, trips to the right. 4 wide receivers on second down, 9 from the 19. Carson takes a snap, looking near side, complete to Yannick. Yannick cuts it upfield to the 15, down to the 14-yard line, tripped up that time by Cameron Connolly, a senior defensive back. But Luke Shaw with a nice catch, and it brings up 3rd and short. See what the Vikings can do here on 3rd down. Very manageable if you're Oxford Hills. 3rd and 3. Tied at 7. 7:23 to go. Third quarter. Clock moving. Here we go. Trips to the left. LaFrance in the backfield. To the right of Colton Carson. 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 3. Carson takes a snap, looking to throw. Over the middle. Worcester, a leaping attempt, but it falls incomplete. Worcester tried to use that size and go up and get it. Couldn't not quite reel it in. And I'll bring up 4th down, and now
Looks like they're going to take 3.
Try to get a field goal. We saw Yannick drill a 35-yarder against Bonnie Eagle, if you recall, in that game. All-conference kicker from the near hash here. It's going to be a solid 30-yard field goal here. Yeah, Farrell will hold about a 30-yarder for Yannick from the near hash to give the Vikings the lead. A little bit of a high snap. They got the hold down, but the kick is no good. Farrell had to field a bit of a high snap, tried to get it down. He got it down, but I think it might have screwed up the timing and it ended up being wide left.
Yeah.
So we're tied at 7. The rain, I think, makes kicking a little bit harder also. Do you agree trying to take 3 there? You had a 4th down and 3 yards to go.
It's a tough decision, and I think the rain plays into that, where I would probably want to just keep it on the ground, see if you can get, 3 on the ground. That's what I would do. But I can see why they want to kick it here. Last game was won by 3 points, so going up 3 in the third quarter it sounds pretty good.
Right.
But
and he missed the kick, but Portland has to go 80 yards here. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 20. Nope. With Elowich to his right. Put a man in motion, that's Jacobson. Now another man in motion, that's his big tight end. Nope in the gun. On 1st and 10 from his own 20. Takes a snap. Nope looking to run it himself. A kind of a rare design run today for Nope, although we know he can run it. And Yannick comes up and hit him pretty hard on that one. He got about 4 on the play, maybe 5. Running off right tackle. 6:57 remaining, third quarter. The clock is stopped for the moment because we have another penalty, I think. Illegal procedure against Portland, so that'll move him back 5 yards. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on 96.9 Ox Country. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow here on 96.9 Ox Country and on MBR.org. It's Zach Elowich on the pitch after the penalty, and he gets out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Nice run by Elowich off the pitch. We are live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth here for the MBR Game of the Week. On the radio side of things, it's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. And this game is all tied at 7.
About a 10-yard carry for Zach Elowich.
Wells is beating Oak Hill 34-6 at halftime. That Cinderella story might be ending tonight, unfortunately. Here's the pitch for Elowich running far side, and the ball might have come out there. Oxford Hill saying they have it. And Oxford Hills has the football.
That's the rain. The rain coming into play. And I mean, the rain plus this Vikings defense that's so good at forcing fumbles and turnovers in general.
So the ball came out. The Vikings were all over it. I honestly don't know who got that football, but it might have been Truman. It might have been Turner. Marcus Stone was in on it as well.
Could have been Yannick.
Yeah, anyone.
Yeah.
The point is they recovered on the far side of the field right by the Oxford Hills bench, and the bench knew it before anyone else. They were jumping up and down. That is a huge turnover because now the Vikings have it 1st and 10 at the Portland 34. Second fumble, first one they've lost in this game. Nope, fumbled one earlier. That was more off the snap. That time Elowich fumbled it, and the Vikings recovered. So LaFrance in the backfield with Carson 1st and 10. Little trickeration. Oh, they ran into each other. LaFrance and Yannick Luchka ran into each other in the backfield. They were doing kind of a pitch that was kind of going against the grain. I don't think someone didn't know the play call, I think. And
Looks like Parker LaFrance was supposed to be lead blocking, but
was going the other direction.
Yeah, he went the wrong way. Who knows, with a trick play like that, something they probably haven't practiced much. They just threw it in, walked through it once, and wanted to try it out.
Tried to add an extra wrinkle, but unfortunately for the Vikings, they lose a bunch of yards back to the 42, it looks like, of Portland. So, they're behind the sticks here. 2nd down and 15. Still in Portland territory, though. It's getting a little tricky with this rain coming down. 3 wide receivers. Emerson Brown the back now. And this time they'll option right. The pitch to Yannick in some trouble, trying to escape. Still on his feet to the 41, and he got back to basically the line of scrimmage. It could have been a big loss as there was all sorts of Portland pressure in the backfield. A little slow to get up for Portland is Cameron Connolly. He was part of the guys pressuring the Vikings. So now it's 3rd and long. And
I say go QB draw here. We've seen Colton run that. We ran that last year against them in the playoffs for a big 3rd down conversion.
4:35 remaining 3rd quarter clock moving, but they have it spotted as 3rd and 18 after a 3-yard loss. LaFrance in the backfield. Carson takes a snap. Looking to throw too high for a Luke shot there. Coverage on the play by Stasium. And it's 4th down, so they are unable to take advantage of the fumble, and that hurts, I think. The Vikings had great field position, but the miscommunication on the little trickeration cost them on that drive right off the bat. So now on 4th down, Portland has Stasium back deep to return the punt.
Kind of an awkward place to punt from.
Luke Shutt to punt it from his own 47. He can try to pin him. Almost the ideal spot to try to pin somebody if you're able to directionally kick a low-line drive. And it takes an Oxford Hills bounce inside the 20 and rolls down to the 15. And that's where it'll die. So not a bad punt at all. He got the job done. It was nearly blocked, but because it's a low punt. But he directionally kicked it down to the 15-yard line, so Portland will have to really earn it here. Starting at their own 15 with 4:10 to go, 3rd quarter tied at 7.
Punt kind of reminded me of Bonnie Eagle when they looked like they purposely were trying to kick it into the backs of the defense when they were turnaround running to see if they could get on it and keep the ball.
Aaron Morris alongside Tasker Winslow live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth, bringing you all the action here. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from their own 15, tied at 7 here in the 3rd quarter. The pitch,
a false start.
Elowich. And you're right, they blow it dead. 4:06 remaining in the 3rd, and a possible penalty here. It appears it is a false start on Portland.
Looked like either left guard or right guard or right tackle did the little head bob, you know, that gets linemen in trouble so often.
And that's not what Portland wanted. They were already backed up. Now they're at their own 10-yard line. 1st and 15. The Vikings have given up pretty much one big run today, and that was the Elowich 82-yard touchdown. Everything else, they've done a good job containing things. That's the 4th flag already in the 3rd quarter, so we've had some laundry on the field in the 3rd quarter of action, which is maybe why it's going a little slower, as you mentioned. I don't think either of these teams care about the pace, as Nope under center. Mariba, the tailback. It's Mariba off right tackle, and Mariba's being chased down by Parker LaFrance. He spins out, and then the Vikings come in and clean it up. Turner was flying in there, as well as one of his teammates, number 56 in white, David Dingley, who's having a very nice season. He was actually all conference on the offensive line. Turner credited for the stop there. LaFrance got there first, and it's 2nd and long. He got a couple yards back. 2nd and 13 from the 12. 3:28 to go, 3rd quarter. Portland football tied at 7 with Oxford Hills. Winner goes to the state title game. The pitch, near side, and on the move is Elowich before he's stacked up by about half the Viking defense. Out across the 20 to the 22.
They're going to have to stop him for a little bit less than that on those toss and outside stretch plays.
Yeah, he got very close to a first down. They're still 2 yards short. They need to get to the 25-yard line at the 23 right now. 3rd and 2. 2:48 to go, 3rd quarter. Nope, under center, Elowich, the tailback, I formation. It's Elowich on the pitch, far side. Elowich has the first down, and he is tough to tackle before he's stacked up by Turner and Luke Shaw. He has a first down to the 29. 1st and 10 Portland with 2:34 remaining, 3rd quarter in a tie game, 7-7. It's been a battle between these two excellent defenses.
Yeah, neither offense can really get anything going.
Vikings had a good drive earlier in this quarter. They missed a field goal, and then they forced a turnover but couldn't do anything with it. Mariba, the tailback, although Elowich is back there also. It's Mariba this time, up the middle. And Mariba is lifted up in the air and then dropped down after a short gain. So that'll bring up 2nd down. First man there for Oxford Hills was Emerson Brown playing some defense. So the ball spotted now at the 33. 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard run by Mariba. Nope under center. Takes a snap. This is Elowich near side. And Elowich fumbled it again, but this time he fell on it. And fell on it at the 39. Yeah, it went right back into his hands. Ball came out, and I think he has a first down. He does. But, yeah, with that rain, a little bit harder to hold on to the football, perhaps.
And it's not a downpour. It's just that mist, you know, kind of coats everything and makes everything slippery.
So, Zach Elowich able to recover his own fumble there. And it's first down Portland at the 40-yard line, their own 40. 1:32 remaining, 3rd quarter, tied at 7. Elowich has an 82-yard touchdown run today. Lucia has a 9-yard run for Oxford Hills. Handoff, Elowich running off left tackle, fighting through defender, still on his feet and stumbles forward to midfield where he has another first down, it appears. If he had stayed on his feet, he could have kept going, but he tripped and just sort of kept running and keeping his feet moving, even though there was no one really near him. He was stumbling and able to fall forward for a first down inside the 50 to the 49 of Oxford Hills.
And Oxford Hills defense has got to do a better job gang tackling, you know, wrapping him up, let everyone else come in and finish off the tackle.
High formation, the tailback is Elowich, Mariba the fullback, Nope under center. The pitch to Elowich running far side. Elowich cutting back to the 45, and Dowdy, that's a nice solid wrap up there by Austin Dowdy at the 44-yard line of the Vikings. 5-yard run for Elowich brings up 2nd and 5 for Portland with 50 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter, tied at 7.
That's not just a wrap up, that's a bear hug.
Austin Dowdy, senior, 6'4", 255 pounds for the Vikings. Elowich has 52 rushing yards so far this quarter alone. He had 117 at halftime. Nope under center. The pitch to Elowich. He's looking to throw it. Elowich got hit while he threw it. It's intercepted by Alex Turner. Turner to midfield into Portland territory, and a huge play by the Viking defense. Portland trying to trick play, and they clobbered Elowich, and then Turner said, thank you very much, and he gets the interception. Who hit him there, did you see?
I didn't see you hit him.
He got hit.
I was looking downfield to see if, someone had gotten through, but
he got hit hard, and Alex Turner was the recipient of an easy interception there.
Probably the easiest one he'll ever have.
Yeah, it fell right into his arms. And can the Vikings take advantage of the pick as they intercept the halfback pass? 17.8 seconds to go in the quarter. They have it in Portland territory, 1st and 10 from the 45. Carson in the gun. Got a couple backs back there with them. Puts a man in motion. That's Worcester. And the handoff to Yannick. Escapes one tackle. Got a block. Trying to cut back, but Elowich and company pursue him quite well. It was Elowich, the first man there, followed up by Giovanni Mabungi.
2 flags down. Same place.
And there are multiple flags on the play.
They came in at different... Oh. Looks like an illegal cut block.
It is on the Vikings, so that'll back them way up.
I like the ref signal on that. Look good.
Yeah. That's a different one. He doesn't get to do that very often, right?
Usually they just do it with one hand. They kind of, chop by their knee, but he was going 2 hands.
So this is all the way back to the 37-yard line. Not what the Vikings needed because they're at their own 37, and the first down marker is at the Portland 35. So
that is a long penalty.
Yeah, a 15-yarder, I'm pretty sure. That'll be the end of the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. We're tied at 7, headed to the 4th here on Ox Country and MBR.org.
When you're hurt at work, at home, or on the field, you may think you only have 2 choices.
Visit the ER or wait weeks for an appointment with a specialist.
But who has time to wait? We know you don't.
We get it. It used to be hard to get in here, but things have changed.
We know that when you're in pain, you want to see the right doctor right away.
Our patients are busier than ever, so we've made it easier to get quick access to specialized orthopedic care.
We now have 2 ways for you to be seen by one of our orthopedic specialists on your time: spine access and ortho access.
If you've got back or neck pain, call us at 1-855-96-SPINE to schedule an appointment with Spine Access. You'll see one of our orthopedic spine specialists within 24 hours.
And Ortho Access is now open in Portland and Auburn for walk-in orthopedic care for recent injuries, pain, sprains, and strains.
So whether you suffered a fracture on the field or experiencing new sudden onset back pain, we'll see you now.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. Welcome you back into Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. The 4th quarter video stream at MBR.org is brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. It's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 Ox Country. Video feed, as I mentioned, MBR.org. 4th quarter underway. The winner of this game, Portland Oxford Hills, goes to the state title game. We are tied at 7 to begin the 4th quarter. And Oxford Hills in some trouble right now, deep in their own end. Carson looking to run it after he dropped back to pass, and he is dropped right at his own 35-yard line by the ever-present on defense for Portland, Jonah Green.
Maybe should have looked to go outside there instead of trying to squeeze up the middle. Could have rolled out a little bit.
So the Vikings, the first down marker, as I mentioned before the end of the 3rd quarter, is right now at the Portland 35-yard line. The Vikings are at their own 30 at this point. So it's a long way to go.
35 and 35.
35 now. Yep,
Yeah.
35 to 35.
At their own 35, need to get to Portland 35.
So they need quite a bit here.
Quite a bit.
Yeah. It's only 2nd down because they had the chop block. All right, here's a run for Parker LaFrance, near side, trying to get to the edge to the 40, to the 45, to midfield and out of bounds. So that'll set up a 3rd and 15. He got half the yards they needed right there. About half. There's a flag on the play, though. And that might be bringing it back. Yep, it's a hold on Oxford Hills. So, good run by LaFrance, but it's going to get called most of it back here because of the holding penalty. 11:02 to go in the game. We are tied at 7.
They might not accept it. 3rd and 15 or 2nd and...
Holding on the offense. They will accept it, though, it appears.
Yeah.
They're going to repeat 2nd down here.
I think I might have just taken the 3rd and 15.
It's quite possible. Although Carson can throw it. I mean, 3rd and 15, you could convert that.
Right.
I think Portland's enjoying the fact that Vikings are so deep behind the sticks right now. So this ball is going to be spotted about where they were before, just because
they
gained a yard. Yeah, they gained a yard out of it. So it's 2nd and 29. 2nd and 29 from their own 36 for Oxford Hills. Tied at 7. 11:02 to go in the game. And what a struggle it's been. Both these teams have been great on defense. A defensive battle here tonight. Carson out of shotgun. He'll keep it himself after the fake handoff. Carson to the outside. Carson has some room to midfield. 45, down the far sideline, 30, and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Colton Carson gets it all back and then some for Oxford Hills and a first down.
What a well-designed play.
40-yard run for Colton Carson.
I was fooled by that. The way after he faked the handoff and he kind of paused for a second and kind of watched as Parker LaFrance took it left, and then he took off. So it really looked like, you know, what Colton usually does. He'll just hand it off and then watch. He's not very good at carrying out his fakes, but it actually helped. Yeah, it helped him out there.
It's a first down, so Oxford Hills, due to the legs of the Class A North Player of the Year, have a 1st and 10 at the Portland 25. Tied at 7, 10:51 remaining in the game. And now we have a whistle and a timeout called by the Vikings. We'll take a quick 30-second break on Ox Country video feed at MBR.org.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
And welcome you back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. On the video side of the ledger, it's the MBR game of the week between Portland and Oxford Hills. On the radio side of things, this is the CMCC Hammond Lumber game of the week on 96.9 Ox Country. It's the Class A North Regional Final. Winner goes to the state title game. Oxford Hills and Portland tied at 7, 10:51 to go in the game. Oxford Hills football, they have it 1st and 10 at the Portland 25-yard line. Colton Carson on the run, up the middle, no gain this time for the very talented Viking quarterback. He was dragged down by Cameron Connolly. Brings up 2nd and 10. Again, the 4th quarter video feed is brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. Well, just joined us. Yannick Lucha has a 9-yard touchdown run, and Zach Elwich has an 82-yard touchdown run, and that's been it. We're tied at 7 with 10:18 to go in the contest as the clock starts moving again. 2nd and 10 from the 25 of Portland as the rain falls here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Carson in the gun on 2nd down from the 25 of Portland. Takes a snap, back to pass. Settles in, fires. He's got an open receiver at the goal line. It's caught for a touchdown. It's Alex Turner. It's a 25-yard strike, and the Vikings lead 13-7 with 9:56 to go in the game.
They're in that post wheel concept, and it looked like Colton was going to throw it to Yannick on the wheel route after he ran his jet motion, and then he pulled it down, looked back to the middle, and delivered a really nice ball to Alex Turner on the post route.
Alex Turner had a long touchdown reception against Cheverus, and he gets one here from 25 yards out. big extra point. This is huge for Yannick and the Vikings. It's up. It's good. With 9:56 to go in the game, the Vikings have a 14-7 lead. Back in 30 seconds on 96.9 Ox Country video feed at MBR.org.
Ever had that sinking feeling that your auto loan payment isn't as low as it could be? Worry no more. Oxford Federal Credit Union can work with you to refinance your loan to see if we can save you money. Our process is easy and our loans offer flexible repayment options. Don't keep wondering if you can save money. Call Oxford Federal or apply online at oxfordfcu.org or from your mobile device using the free Oxford FCU mobile app.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow as the Vikings kick it off after an Alex Turner 25-yard touchdown reception. Here comes Stasium for Portland, and Stasium able to get the ball out to the 35-yard line where the Bulldogs will start their drive. Well, Tasker, the Vikings are 9 minutes and 50 seconds away from going to their first state championship game since 1999. You're not nervous or anything, are you, right now?
That's an understatement.
They are up by a touchdown. Points have been hard to come by today. That drive looked like it was going nowhere after the chop block, and Colton Carson busted out a huge run.
That's why he's the Northern Maine Player of the Year.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure a candidate for the Fitzy as well. Nope will pitch it for Elowich, and Elowich is met by J.J. Worcester, and I mean he got stood up by Worcester, the all-conference defensive end, after a short gain. Brings up second down. Worcester was not messing around there. He met him head on. 9:30 to go in the game. Vikings lead 14-7. Alex Turner, a 25-yard touchdown reception. Boy, has he emerged. He was known for his defense entering the season. He was all-conference again defensively. But as a wide receiver, he's been huge recently for the Vikings. 9:12 remaining. Second down and 8 for Portland at their own 37. Nope under center. Mariba, the fullback, up the middle. There goes Mariba to the 40, 35, 30. He could go all the way. Mariba to the house. Touchdown, Portland. That's a 63-yard touchdown run for Jamal Mariba. And just like that, they're an extra point away from tying this game.
Another big extra point here.
Vumpa, who's been outstanding, I think he's only missed one extra point all season. On for the PAT. The holder is Stasium. So that's the same play Elowich had his 82-yard touchdown run on.
Right, yeah, right up the gut.
Right up the gut. The all-important extra point is up. It's good. Just like that, Portland strikes back. We are tied at 14 with 8:59 to go in the game. Back in 30 seconds on Ox Country video feed, MBR.org.
Get your own truck, only at Goodwin Chevrolet.
Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow. Welcome you back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Portland has struck back. We're tied at 14. A 63-yard touchdown run by Jamal Mariba. On the return for Oxford Hills, out across the 35, Alex Turner refusing to go down. He gets out to the 37. And
late hit and from behind, and they're not going to do anything about it.
Bonang got hit by Joseph
lit up.
Pike, a sophomore who was a little bit too enthusiastic, but refs never saw it, I guess.
Well, they were standing right there. They choose to ignore stuff like that.
Well, so it goes.
Yeah.
8:45 remaining in the game, tied at 14. Jamal Mariba, a 63-yard touchdown run right up the middle to tie it up right after Alex Turner had caught a 25-yard touchdown pass. This has been quite the game so far in this rain here at Portland's Fitzpatrick Stadium. The winner gets the right to play here next Saturday night in the state title game. At 11 in the morning, I found out Class A plays their state title game, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird game time.
Yeah, but we'll be on the call of that no matter who's in it. All right, 8:45 remaining in this one. Colton Carson and company tied at 14 with Portland. In the shotgun, now we have another whistle. Portland wants to call timeout. All right, let's take a quick 30-second break here on Ox Country video feed at mbr.org.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Welcome you back into Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Fourth quarter video feed on MBR.org, brought to you by Maine Athletic Fundraising. Find them at MaineAthleticFundraising.com and start raising the funds you need for your team today. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week on 96.9 Ox Country. What a game it's been. We're tied at 14, 8:45 to go in the game. Oxford Hills football, we have had multiple timeouts here. Finally, they'll get a snap off, it appears. 1st and 10 from their own 37. Carson, low snap. They fumble it. It's picked up by Emerson Brown, then he just falls over. Oh, pardon me. That was Yannick who picked it up. Luke Shaw was in the backfield that time. And it was a low snap, and they were able to get him the ball, but there wasn't much he could do with it. He just had to fall over and make sure they don't turn it over there.
Call that one the worm burner, those low snaps.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's wet like this, playing center, the ball just, right as you start to move it back, the tip will slide down and catch, and then your hand, you have no chance. It'll just slip right off from it.
Clock ticking. 8:09 to go in this one. We're tied at 14. The winner plays a winner of Thornton and Scarborough next Saturday morning right here at Fitzpatrick Stadium in the state title game. Gotta get this play off. They wasted a lot of time in the huddle. Or took a lot of time, I should say. A little bit of a wide snap, but Carson fields it cleanly. Now he settles in, throws it deep down the middle of the field. He had a receiver, but he just overthrew him. Incomplete.
Flag on the play.
Was that Addison Brown, his intended target, or am I? And that was number 35.
What was that called?
Addison Brown.
Did you see that?
We haven't seen it yet. The refs are talking it over. Addison Brown in the game, and that throw was just out of his reach.
Probably going to get him for a false start or something, just because they were hurrying so much there. Not everyone really got
Illegal
set.
shift.
Yeah.
Penalties declined, however. So no penalty. It's declined. 2nd and 11 coming up. Or pardon me.
3rd down.
Yeah, because the play counted. Right. So 3rd and 11. Yep. All right. So 3rd and 11 from their own 36. See if they get another big play from Colton Carson here. Portland has survived on 2 big plays. Zach Elowich, 82-yard touchdown run. Jamal Mariba, 63-yard touchdown run. 3rd and long here for the Vikings. Carson fakes the handoff. He'll look to run it. This worked before. And he's out across the 40 to the 42. Nowhere near a 1st down. 7:35 to go in the game. We are tied at 14. Nick, I believe you had some stats earlier from Colton Carson entering that drive. He had 137 through the air and 93 on the ground entering that drive. So he's got a couple more now, but great game from both these teams. Stasium back deep to return this punt. Oh, very high snap, but Luska chased it down. Great job, and he got a booming punt off inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10, down to the 8, and out of bounds. That's why he's an all-conference punter. It was not a good snap, and he was able to reel it in with one hand and then boom it down the field. And Portland will have it 1st and 10 from their own 8-yard line with 6:50 to go in the game, tied at 14.
He is clutch. You remember his sophomore year when we played EL in the playoffs, he had that punt where he pinned him inside the 1.
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah,
He's done that a couple times. That
Yeah.
one was to the 8 as the rain continues to come down, blowing right toward. It looks like they're against the wind if you're Portland, if they try to throw it. Tied at 14, 6:50 remaining. What can Portland do here deep in their own territory? Nope, under center. The tailback is Elowich. It's Mariba, the fullback, up the middle. There's a fullback dive to the 12, 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming up for Portland. Oxford Hills, that one weakness has been the 2 big plays they've allowed. The 2 runs right up the middle. Nothing fancy on either of those. Just pretty much straight up handoffs. And for whatever reason, it was right up the gut for 6. One for 82 yards, one for 63 yards. 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard run by Mariba. Nope under center. I formation. Nope barking out signals. Pitches it. Elowich, far side. This is where he's so dangerous in space. He's chased out of bounds by Luke Shaw. And see where they spot it. I think he has a first down. He does. So Elowich moves the chains. 6:06 to go in the game. Tied at 14. For Portland, in an ideal world, they would hold the ball for the rest of regulation. They've shown they can do that. They have it now at their own 22. They've gotten out of the big hole they were in at the 8.
This will probably be their last possession of.
Nope, the handoff Mariba this time, and he's met by a couple of Oxford Hills defenders. First man there was Emerson Brown, who's getting some run on defense, and then he's knocked back. Now Brown will check out. Didn't get much there, maybe a yard. 5:45 to go in the game. Tied at 14. Clock ticking. It's been close all night. Teams trading scores. Vikings have had 2 leads. Portland has never led in this game. All tied up. 2nd down and 9 from the 23. In their own territory, the Bulldogs. Nope, fumble the snap. Ball still on the ground. And Portland fell on it, I think.
Looks like it. That would have been huge.
One of their guys is slow to get up. One of their linemen. But a couple times those snaps have been a problem for Portland with Nope dropping them.
I'm sure the rain doesn't help.
Yeah, he was able to recover that one again, though. So 3rd down and long. That just kills your momentum, though, if you're the Portland offense. And I think the rain really is impacting some things. I mean, the turf looks wet. I mean, it's not draining.
It looks like it's starting to puddle
Yeah,
up.
it's starting to collect water on the turf a bit here. 4:30 to go in the game. It's 3rd and 12 for the Bulldogs at their own 20. Tied up, 14 all. The pitch, Elowich. And Elowich is spun down. First man there, Cole Dunham, and then the cavalry came for the Vikings. J.J. Worcester in on the stop as well. And it's 4th down, and Portland will probably punt it. Yeah, into the wind, as Nick points out. That's not easy. The wind definitely, although the rain coming down a little straighter now, but it was blowing in earlier. Let's see what Elowich can do on this punt. Here's a snap. Elowich double clutched a little bit, but now he punts it away. A high kick that lands and takes an Oxford Hills bounce. The Vikings are going to get it at the Portland 41-yard line after a very short punt from Elowich.
Great field position to start off what's probably going to be the last drive of the game, last possession.
Well, we'll see. 3:44. They might score right away, and then.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Or there could be a turnover, But yeah, I mean, in the perfect world for Oxford Hills, this is the last drive. In the perfect world, because if you score too quickly, Portland has a chance to score again themselves.
Right. It's an art. You got to take a little bit off, but not too much.
Yeah, if you turn it over, then obviously that's a big problem. But the field position battle won right now by Oxford Hills after that short punt to the 42-yard line. So they have it in Portland territory. 3:44 to go, tied at 14. Colton Carson, the Class A North Player of the Year, has 4 wide receivers on 1st and 10. Takes a snap, looking to run it. Colton Carson, there he goes, inside the 30-yard line, and a first down to the 28 of Portland. Just give it to Colton Carson. Put it in his hands and let him do work for Oxford Hills.
Wow.
3:35 to go. Clock moving. And, yeah, they want to burn up as much of that clock as possible.
Right.
They don't want Portland to have any chance. They've seen Portland can strike very quickly with the way they've been running the ball up the middle at times. 1st and 10 from the Portland 28 for Oxford Hills. 4 wide receivers, Colton Carson in the shotgun. Takes a snap, looking to run it again up the middle. Carson falls forward now to the 25. So we got 3. 2nd and 7.
It's great that we talk about this a lot, but he doesn't have to do much to get a few yards every play. He pretty consistently gets 2-3 yards even on busted plays just by, reaching out and getting what he can with his length.
Each team has 2 timeouts remaining according to the scoreboard here. Ball at the Portland 25-yard line. 2nd and 7 for the Vikings. In a tie game, 14-all with 2:35 remaining. Carson with 4 wides again. Same play, run it. No gain this time. Good job by that Portland defense. They are tough up front, we know that. As he was met hard that time by the big linebacker Grant Jacobson, who was a little slow to get up, but he's back up on his feet.
A little confused why they've run only that play.
It's worked a couple times.
Yeah.
No gain, though, there. Portland finally had it sniffed out. 2:05 to go. 3rd and 7 from the 25 of Portland for Oxford Hills. This is obviously 4-down territory. Kicking in this weather is very tough, and it would be a long field goal from here. 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 7 for Colton Carson and the Vikings from the Portland 25. Luke Shaw goes in motion. Carson to pass it. Back to pass. Throws it deep down the far sideline. Incomplete. Too far for Yannick. Coverage on the play by Trefethen. Pass went out of bounds over Yannick's head. 4th down and 7. 1:34 to go. Clock stopped. Tied at 14. The winner will play for a state championship next Saturday, right here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Oxford Hills is looking for their first appearance in the state title game since 1999. They have never won a state title. Portland was here in the state title game 2 years ago. They have not won a state title, though, since 2002. And we have a timeout called by Oxford Hills. They want to talk this over. What are they going to do on 4th and 7 with 1:34? We're going to keep it right here because I don't want to risk missing anything of this game. 4th and 7 at the Portland 25. Vikings talking things over. You're Coach Soren right now, Tasker. What play are you drawing up?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would probably think for a second to maybe let Yannick try to kick a 40-yarder, but I don't know. It's a tough one. Maybe we've seen them in situations like this do really well on design quarterback draws and out routes and throwing down the seam. So it could be any of those things. I don't think they're going to keep it on the ground, though, unless it's Colton with the ball.
They are lining up for a field goal. Yannick is going to try to kick this one from 42 yards. He made a 35-yarder earlier. Well, now, yeah, he's lining up for a field goal. 42-yard attempt. He has a wind at his back here. The kick is not going to get there. It's short. It's no good. It was online. It just didn't have the oomph. Incomplete. And Portland takes over with 1:29 to go in the game and a chance to drive down the field and win it.
That's a little bit too much time for comfort with this Portland offense.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on 96.9 Ox Country. Aaron Morse alongside Tasker Winslow here in the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth, bringing you a thriller right now. 14-all between Portland and Oxford Hills here on the MBR Game of the Week video feed at MBR.org, Facebook page. as well, of course, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, whatever, you name it, it's streaming. We're on 96.9 Ox Country on the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Portland and Oxford Hills tied at 14, the Class A North final. Yannick just missed a 42-yard field goal. 1st and 10, Portland from their own 20. Nope. Hands it off, Elowich up the middle, and there goes Elowich, still on his feet. Elowich from the 40 and knocked out of bounds by Turner at the 45-yard line. But on 1st down, a 25-yard run for Zach Elowich. And here come the Bulldogs with 1:21 to go in the game. Tied at 14. Kicking has been a struggle today for good reason. It's raining, and raining sideways. I formation, 1st and 10, so you wonder if Portland needs a touchdown here, not a field goal, even though it's tied. Nope, fumbled the snap, and he recovered it again. That is the 3rd fumble snap Sam Nope has recovered. He lost 1 yard. 2nd and 11 coming up. That wastes some time, though. Portland, let's see here. Portland does have 2 timeouts left. A minute to go. Oxford Hills has 1. Clock moving, though. Inside a minute now. 2nd and 10 from their own 44. Nope, under center. Handoff, Elowich up the middle. This time the Vikings are ready, but Elowich just carries defenders to the 49-yard line. J.J. Worcester in on the stop. And now Portland, I believe, is using a timeout. They do. We'll keep it right here. With 44.6 seconds to go in the game, tied at 14. Portland football. It'll be 3rd down, though, and 6 yards to go from their own 49-yard line after this timeout. We are tied at 14. Portland has not had sustained drives today like they usually do. They've had 2 explosive touchdown runs. Zach Elowich for 82 yards and Jamal Mariba for 63 yards. Meanwhile, for Oxford Hills, Yannick Luksha has a 9-yard touchdown run, and Alex Turner has a 25-yard touchdown reception. Those are your scores today. The Bulldogs have never led. Oxford Hills scored first. Portland responded. Oxford Hills scored again, and Portland responded again. And it's been back and forth like that. All tied at 14. There's 44.6 seconds left in regulation. Overtime is a rarity. We saw it in the playoffs a couple years ago against Edward Little, right? For Oxford Hills, is that correct? That game went to overtime?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the last time I've seen it. You're focused.
I'm focused.
All right. Out of the gun. Nope. Rolls to his right. Throws on the run. Diving attempt, and it's incomplete. Intended for Stasium, but he could not quite reel it in. Clock stops with 39.4 seconds remaining in a tie game. 14 all. It's 4th down and 6 yards to go. Portland has to punt it here. They cannot risk giving the Vikings great field position if they don't make it. Michael Bonang back deep.
Probably going to see some pressure here.
You don't have to punt, but it's probably
good idea.
Yeah. Oh, we have a whistle. And we'll see what the deal is here.
Looks like they called the timeout. Coach Danforth probably wants to.
The Vikings burned their final timeout, I believe. Well, 38.6 seconds left. They had to watch out for a fake, possibly. I mean, you know, you're playing for the state title game. You want to make plays, and you know, Portland still ticked off. They didn't make it last year. They lost to Wyndham in the regional final last year, and then Wyndham lost all their players and were not a factor this season. And so Portland thought, oh well, our route's going to be easy this year without Wyndham being in the picture, and it has not been easy. Oxford Hills has been every bit the team Portland has this season. Portland won by a field goal at the Gawai Athletic Complex earlier, 17-14, and well, guess what, folks? We're tied at 14 in this game. Will it come down to a field goal? Well, we've had a couple misses, but they were longer attempts by Oxford Hills. Elowich is still lined up in punt formation, but the Vikings obviously called timeout, wanting to talk things over here. Now we're getting back into things. Elowich standing at his own 37. Gotta be careful they don't turn it over here just because of the weather. Good snap. Elowich punts it away. Short punt again. This wind is brutal. And it'll bounce at the 35 and take an Oxford Hills bounce to the 36. So the Vikings will have 30.5 seconds to do something. I told you it wouldn't be the last drive.
Yeah, you're right. You're
14 all, 30.5 seconds left, but no timeouts.
Well, you know that.
Probably run Carson, right? You don't want to risk throwing a pick, and Carson has shown he can make explosive plays.
I'd say probably take one deep shot here.
Okay, yeah.
And that doesn't use much time, and then you can just run it after that.
Let's see what they do. 3 wide receivers. They have 30.5 seconds. Ball at their own 36 in a tie game, 14 all. 1st and 10. LaFrance in the backfield. Oh, Carson's taking a knee. They're going to say, let's play overtime.
Huh.
Portland has 1 timeout. They want to use it. Oxford Hills will not stop the clock. Oxford Hills saying, let's get this back on even footing and play in overtime. They don't want to risk turning it over in their own end, obviously. And we'll watch the clock run down. Portland could call time if they wanted, make them snap it again, but I don't think they're going to. They're going to say, let's play overtime. Well, at the end of 4 quarters, we're tied at 14. Back in 30 seconds on Ox Country and videofeedmbr.org.
From the front office staff to the medical technicians and the doctors, we're all playing on the same team. Discover Spectrum Healthcare Partners and the power of integrated specialty care.
Welcome back into the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth on the video feed at mbr.org. That little text that says extra in the upper right-hand corner, that means we're in overtime, folks. We are tied at 14 here in overtime, which you had an overtime playoff game 2 years ago against Edward Little. What are some memories of that one?
Well, I mean, I don't remember much of specifics, but I remember it was kind of weird towards the end of the game because everyone was just being so careful not to let someone, let the other team do something big. So we were, not that we were on our heels, but we were kind of just sitting back, let them come to us. We'll, tackle them in front of us. We don't want to get beat over the top. And so I can feel the defensive backs' pain in this one, where it's one big play, and that's usually where you'll see it is on the outside against a corner or down the middle against a safety. One step, and this game's over for a defensive back. So it's nerve-wracking, but there's a little bit more on the table for these guys than there was in my playoff game.
So similar to the college rules, each team will possess the ball. I believe at the 20-yard line, you said. And, it's untimed, and they'll each get a chance, right? So let's say Vikings start. You want to start on defense typically. That way you know what's going to happen. So I think they're going to do a coin toss, I think, for overtime, if I recall. And so the first team, let's say they score a touchdown, then you have to score a touchdown.
Right.
Convert the extra point or go for 2 to win it or whatever. Or if they only kick a field goal, which I don't think you're going to see, but then you could win it with a touchdown. And then it keeps going. If they keep matching each other, if they don't score, they won't score. It keeps going to a second overtime and so on and so forth.
How long can they go?
I think till the curfew in Portland. I don't know. I think you can go forever. There's no ties.
Right.
It's not like the NFL where they have a tie. That's totally different. So they're going to have a coin toss to determine who starts with the ball, though unlike NFL overtime, in college or in high school, you want to start on defense typically. So you know what the other team, know what you have to do after the other team possesses the ball. So we'll have that coin toss here in just a moment. Overtime games are so rare in high school football just because, frankly, a lot of times the matchups are not that even.
Yeah, they're pretty lopsided.
This one has been very even. We knew it would be. I mean, based on the regular season result, a 17-14 Portland win. That was not in overtime. Again, but that game, though, Oxford Hills had a touchdown call back. I mean, they were right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the end, Portland pulled it out, and now we'll have a coin toss to determine how we start in the overtime period. Tied at 14. It's been quite the battle, certainly between these two teams, and it's only appropriate, I suppose, that it goes to overtime. as the captains are all meeting out there in midfield. Good to see Cam Slicer out there, even though he's been hurt all year.
Out of the boot, too.
Yeah, and he was all academic, so he kept his head up in the classroom, did a great job there, and out there as one of the captains for the overtime coin toss here. So we're going to see who is going to win the toss. I believe the Vikings get to call it in the air or whatnot, or beforehand.
Both coaches out there.
Just to make sure everything's on the up and up, I guess.
Right.
14 all. The Vikings struck first on a Yannick Lukshka 9-yard touchdown run, followed up by an 82-yard run by Zach Elowitz to tie the game at 7. And later on, Alex Turner caught a 25-yard touchdown pass, but on the very next drive, Jamal Mariba ran it in from 63 yards out. And that's the scoring, all tied at 14 as we get the overtime going.
Overtime in the rain.
Yep.
It's Oxford Hills playoff tradition.
Right here on the turf at Fitzpatrick Stadium. The Vikings won here at Fitzpatrick Stadium last year in the regular season. Before losing in the playoffs here. So, but that was the first ever win over Portland, I believe, for Oxford Hills. Again, the format is alternating like college possessions. Vikings appear to have won the toss, although I can't quite see from here. Let's see. We'll figure out who has the ball when things are. You also get to decide. Okay, so Portland's going to get the ball. I believe Oxford Hills won the toss and they elected to play defense first, which is what you typically do. So here we go. Portland will start with the football in our first overtime period. Again, it's untimed. There is a play clock, obviously, but there's no time on the game clock for the overtime period. All tied at 14 for the right to go to the state championship game. The Portland Bulldogs, who fell short last year in the regional final to Wyndham. Elowitz has 201 rushing yards today.
I guess it is starting at the 10.
Colton Carson has 137 passing yards. I thought it was the 10.
Yeah.
In college, it's like the 20 or 25. So in high school, it is the 10-yard line. Well, that's a little different from college. So it will be from the 10-yard line for Portland to start this overtime period, all tied at 14 apiece. Here we go. I formation, Elowitz the tailback, Mariba the fullback, Nope under center. First and goal from the 10. The chain gang can relax also. There's no first downs. Here's the pitch. Elowitz cutting outside. He's met. He is dropped in the backfield. First man there, Parker LaFrance, and then the cavalry came as well for the Vikings as Cole Dunham flew in there also. Well, good start. Second down coming up after a loss on that play. Loss of 2, it looks like. Second and goal from the 12 now. So no chain gang, no clock except for the play clock here in overtime. Second and goal from the 12 for Portland. All tied at 14. The tailback is Elowitz. Nope under center. Second down. It's going to be Elowitz off left tackle. Dunham brings him down, and then the rest of the Vikings swarmed in as well. He's down to the 8. About a 4-yard run brings up third down. Elowitz is trying to find some space. Right now, the Vikings not letting him. They spot it at a 7-yard line, so give him 5 on that run. Just shy of the 7, but right there. All right. Third down from the 7. I formation. Nope. Takes the snap. Handoff Elowitz. Up the gut. He is in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And he bulldogged his way in from 7 yards out. And it's 20-14 Portland with the all-important extra point coming up. So Portland strikes first here in the overtime.
Well, now they know what they need.
Yep. Well, we'll see if they need 6 or 7.
Right.
Vumpa, who's been so reliable, the freshman kicker, on for the PAT. Line drive kick. It's good. So he makes the extra point And the Vikings will need a touchdown and an extra point to keep this game going. It's 21-14 Portland. And now Oxford Hills will get the ball at the 10-yard line as well. And a downpour here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Portland got what they needed. They just ran Elowich. Why not? He's your all-conference running back. He's the guy who got you here. And he punched it in.
That's probably what we'll see for Oxford Hills, except with Colton Carson.
Well, it's harder to score on the spread down by the goal line.
Right.
4 wide receivers. LaFrance in the backfield on first down from the 10. Carson to run it. As you predicted, Carson has some room on the near side to the 5, and he lost the ball, but he was out of bounds, shy of the end zone.
That's going to be really close.
That's at the 1-yard line. That is so close. He is at the 1-yard line. By the way, you have to be careful that if you fumble it and it goes through the end zone, that's a touchback and the game's over.
My sophomore year, overtime game against Lewiston at home, Blake Slicer, Cam's older brother, fumbled the ball. Pretty much the same situation. Ran it on a jet to that way.
Yeah.
Got down inside the 5 and the ball came out.
This is Portland's first lead of the game. Timeout's called by Portland. We're not going anywhere, though.
We're staying right here.
We're keeping it right here. It'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 1 after Carson got 9 yards on that first down run and almost got into the end zone before it was forced out. So now, I mean, this is a classic time for Carson to use that 6'5" frame and just try to bully his way in.
Just take it up over the top.
And then I imagine you kick the PAT. Do you try to win it on the road?
See, that's
that would be a gutsy move to say the least. I've seen teams try to do that before, though. At some point, you get tired of kicking PATs, and you do have to go for the win. Sometimes in college they require you to after, I believe, 2 or 3 overtimes. I'm not sure about high school, but yeah, we'll see here. They're inside the 1-yard line. 21-14 Portland on top, but it's overtime. And 2nd and goal from inside the 1 for Oxford Hills. Colton Carson with Parker LaFrance in the backfield. They still spread him out. 4 wide receivers on 2nd and goal from the 1. Carson. Hard count. Someone jumped. Oh, it might have been Oxford Hills based on Portland's reaction. If it's a false start, that would move him back to the 6. They're going to talk it over, though. Both officials threw a flag. One in the back and one on the side. Dead ball, false start. Wow, they had it at the 1, and now it's at the 6-yard line. Still 2nd down.
Still 2nd down.
Yeah, there's time, no doubt about it. But I'm not. Yeah, I don't know why a hard count. I mean, if you jump offside, you don't get anything. You get half the distance of the goal. If they.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a hard count or if it was just the Portland's defense, jumping.
Right. Making them nervous, and Portland fired up after that one. So it's 2nd and goal now from the 6 after the false start. Carson, if he wants to throw it, has a little more room to work with here, but we'll see. 3 wide receivers on 2nd and goal from the 6 now. LaFrance in the backfield. Carson puts Luchka in motion, and Carson ended up keeping it. He fumbles the football. If Portland got it, they win the game. And Portland got it, I believe. Let's see here. They did, based on the reaction. This one is all over. The fumble ends the game. Portland fell on it. And the Bulldogs are returning to the state championship game. After they recover the fumble, Carson took the ball away, kept it in the last second to try to get some running room. He was going to give it to Yannick, decided to keep it himself, and then he just dropped it, and Portland was able to jump on it. And I want to say it was number 56, Darian Darling, who jumped on it, but we'll have to go back and look at the replay of that one because I'm not quite sure. However, Portland did end up falling on the football regardless, and Portland wins it in overtime, 21-14 over Oxford Hills, as the Bulldogs survive. They did not have a lead until overtime, and the Vikings' dream season unfortunately comes to an end in the rain at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Final score again, Portland 21, Oxford Hills 14. Back in a moment here on MBR.org and on 96.9 Ox Country.
When you're hurt at work, at home, or on the field, you may think you only have two choices.
Visit the ER or wait weeks for an appointment with a specialist.
But who has time to wait? We know you don't.
We get it. It used to be hard to get in here, but things have changed.
We know that when you're in pain, you want to see the right doctor right away.
Our patients are busier than ever, so we've made it easier to get quick access to specialized orthopedic care.
We now have 2 ways for you to be seen by one of our orthopedic specialists on your time: spine access and ortho access.
If you've got back or neck pain, call us at 1-855-96-SPINE to schedule an appointment with Spine Access. You'll see one of our orthopedic spine specialists within 24 hours.
And Ortho Access is now open in Portland and Auburn for walk-in orthopedic care for recent injuries, pain, sprains, and strains.
So whether you suffered a fracture on the field or experiencing new sudden onset back pain, we'll see you now.
We welcome you back in on the video feed as well at mbr.org. 21-14, Portland winners in overtime as Zach Elowich punched it in from 7 yards out, and then the Vikings fumbled it. I mean, what did you see on that final play there for Oxford Hills?
It looked like they were running the jet read. There was a lot of pressure. Colton had to pull it last second, spun out to try to take it, reverse the field, take it back the other way. And as soon as he turned around, there was someone in his face. He didn't have good control over the ball, and not much you can do about that there in the rain.
Yes, definitely a tough one there for Oxford Hills. What a season it was. They got a first-round bye. They beat up on Cheverus in the semis, and then here in the final, Portland just able to get the overtime win as Portland got 2 touchdowns from Zach Elowich, 1 in regulation, 1 in overtime, the eventual game winner, and then that fumble on the jet sweep option. Just Carson, it looked like he was going to get some yards out of it. He had pulled it out of Yannick's breadbasket, if you will, and it looked like it was starting to start to run it, and then it just fell out of his hands, and it bounced around for a little bit, and it ended up being jumped on by the Bulldogs, who were celebrating with some of their fans. Oxford Hills, what do you think Coach Soren is saying to his guys over there by the end zone?
I mean, probably the same thing that I'm thinking right now, just how proud of them I am, and over the past couple seasons, how much progress they've made. I've been there to see all of it, and they're just, they're all competitors, and no matter what it is in life, they're going to keep competing. And so, don't let this loss define you. Think about the season as a whole and what they've done for the program.
Goodwin Chevy Player of the Game. I'm thinking like Alex Turner had a great game, 25-yard touchdown reception and interception on defense as well. So how about Alex Turner for our Goodwin Chevy Player of the Game? Turner, just another tremendous performance from the senior all-conference defensive back and a great wide receiver as well. Gets the Goodwin Chevy, Goodwin Automotive their Player of the Game. In the end, though, Portland got the win tonight, 21-14 over Oxford Hills. Any final thoughts, Tasker, before we sign off here?
Hey, that was a great game. Yep. I knew no matter what happened, that was going to be a great game.
And it was indeed. Portland wins it in overtime. They will play the winner of Thornton and Scarborough next Saturday in the state championship game right back here at Fitzpatrick Stadium. Portland, after not going last year, returns. They were in this game 2 years ago, and now they're going back to the state title game. Thornton Scarborough, by the way, play tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's what we'll find out. Scarborough defending state champions, and Thornton the top seed and undefeated this year. We'll see what happens in that one. Well, what a regional final it was. In the end, Portland gets the overtime win, 21-14. Thanks to Alicia back in studio. Thanks to Nick Perry on site doing some stats. Thanks to Tyler running the camera all game. Thanks to Tasker Winslow, of course, my color commentator. My name's Aaron Morse, signing off, 21-14, Portland winners here tonight on 96.9 Ox Country in overtime. Video feed here, there at mbr.org. Have a good